week's episode of the Concerned Citizens Podcast. Before I mention all of this other stuff, we know these people planned it together. They always want to make it look one way. Literally. They literally operate like Hasatan. All the time. And somebody said again, oh my goodness, she's still battling with those people against the spirit of gossip. And the purpose like, that's slander. We're still dealing with the spirit of gossip. They're still battling the spirit of gossip. This is why you shouldn't say anything, because then you're gossiping. You shouldn't release this. You don't know this and know that. How could you talk about this and talk about that? Don't do it. If you do this, we don't work together. We won't be affiliated anymore. You could now don't do this. You're gonna ruin stuff. It's not right. You not for us. Disprove. You not for us. I was trying to prove to you that those people aren't for you. I'm trying to prove to you it don't belong. Oh my goodness. They're still dealing with the slander. So that's why I wanted to put at the forefront. I wanted to put at the forefront the good news. The good news at the end of what I was thankful for the week and for the day and for what Elohim is doing. And at the same time, I am still going to post a message online because Elohim gave me a word yesterday about, with regard to the Proverbs 29, about being silent in the face of wickedness or the face of evil, and letting the evil swallow up the good and all of that kind of stuff. So Proverbs 29, I'm going to put in all of the things that I was thankful for and cut that in here, and then I'm going to read 29. We'll come back in a second as I read Proverbs 29. Shalom. Yahuah, they wanted to remind us that, remember, you are dealing with people who are carrying perversions, people who have the Nephilim spirit, people who have that slanderous, gospelous spirit, and they're like, you're carrying that. No, they keep trying to do witchcraft against me. They keep trying to do that and trying to prove something, but that blood is on their head every time they try to do witchcraft, that it doesn't work against me. The Psalm says that your witchcraft doesn't work against the children of Elohim. And you're like, you're not the children of Elohim. Elohim has proved that time and time again. So he's like, remember, you're working with the people with the mark of the beast. People with the mark of the beast. When they had their insatiable spirit, when they're doing these sick and sadistic things, when they're retaliating with, oh, I'm going to do this physical harm to you or to your family, or try to prevent or try to sabotage you, they're carrying the mark of the beast. They're carrying the gossip spirits. They're carrying the perversion spirits. And they wanted to remind you, wanted me to remind y'all of that. Remind the people that's what you're dealing with. Remember, it's the last days. Remember, that's what they're carrying. Oh, they're trying to say it's me carrying. No, remember, that's what they're carrying. When we're out here, like we are right now, driving, and people want to interfere with that. Yahuah, ready for the scripture. Yahuah, there were some people from that community trying their hardest not to get me to post this online. And I was like, Elohim already told me I have to share certain things. I have to say certain things because there are certain people it's for. It's not for you. The people that's trying to get me not to post this, it's not for them. But there is insight, and there are considerations that people who are of belief are going to need from this podcast. And today, in short, when I went into this space where the first day after our release, I was like, you know what, Father? We know coincidence doesn't exist. And so, like, before last week, this is a whole new week, but last week when I released an episode or something, and the next day then flags started coming up. And this week, again, of course, the flags weren't there. oh, and they're like, we squashed it, this and this and this, I handled it, so don't post online. However, those individuals who are saying that to me, who are trying to advocate on behalf of these other people who have done physical lawlessness, Yahuah, those individuals who are trying to advocate on their behalf, you are also harassing. You are also constantly doing things without my consent. You are also exhibiting narcissistic, gaslighting, manipulative, like sick, twisted, like abusive, like overly. It's a narcissistic, manipulative tactic of like, you're using your words to try to like. It's manipulation, according to the word, because you are sitting here trying to you are apathetic to everyone else, to Easterners, to me, to other people, but you want somebody to whine and cry, and you want people to show you sympathy. You don't just want people to be empathizing with you, so you pity. You keep throwing this pity party. Pity about how your feelings or their feelings or this and that. And again, the fact that you keep harassing me, the fact that you keep throwing yourself a pity party, the fact that you keep having apathy for yourself and other people, the fact that you keep doing lawlessness. I have to do what Elohim told me to do, but even more so, you need to understand, and these specific individuals know who they are. I know you listen to the podcast, and I know you're trying to listen in all kinds of stuff and communicate in all these kind of ungodly ways. And you need to understand that you are doing lawlessness. Your communication is lawlessness. It's not of Elohim. So we will continue on with the message. I just needed to put it out there for those specific individuals, and that specific individual that's trying to advocate for the individuals who are doing the physical lawlessness too. Throwing the flags up, you try to advocate for them and say you try to squash it, but you are also a part of the lawlessness. And because you repeatedly think that you can continue to do that, though you want remorse, but you will refuse. You'll refuse to stop doing this stuff. You refuse to stop doing it. This is not your channel. I am not your friend. I'm not your relative. I'm not your family. I'm not your confidant. I'm not your associate. I'm not walking with you. I'm not fellowshipping with you. It's unrighteous. It's lawlessness. It's lawless. It's I need you to be aware that you just as I got to be accountable for my actions, my choices, you do too. You keep doing this lawlessness. You want to advocate for these other people. However, you are the perpetuator of the lawlessness too. Stop trying to come to me and advocate for these other people who are doing physical lawlessness right along with you. You are a partaker in their sin, but you're also doing these other sins, and you know it. And you think that I should have empathy, remorse. Elohim said there's no remorse for the wicked. What you are doing is straight up wicked, and you know it. Straight up wicked. So no, I will not throw a pity party for you. No, I will not throw a sympathy party for you. No, I will not throw an empathy party for you. No, I will not idolize your feelings. No, I won't. And outside of that, the other context of the wisdom of the way of Elohim is not for you or those other people you're trying to advocate for. It's for the people who believe Elohim and walk and follow Elohim. This is why you were never supposed to be on this channel to begin with. You're never supposed to be trying to communicate with me in ungodly ways to begin with. To begin with, you were never supposed to be out here playing games, throwing up flags, doing shenanigans, operating like Satan, trying to insinuate, manipulate, but not actually coming out of your mouth and being direct and being clear. Like hanging up a flag at the hospital and then saying, but insinuating certain things without actually wanting to acknowledge it as a company and corporation. Like discriminating, using racial slurs instead of coming out and saying it. Operating in the ways of Satan. So anyway, people could call it discrimination when you have a Korean organization, a Korean shop, a Korean store, a Korean entity, a Japanese entity, a Hawaiian entity, an Islamic entity. Yes, they have the right to choose to say, okay, or a Catholic, Jewish, Amish. They're Amish. They do things in their way. You don't have to come and partake and be a part of it, and they don't have to change for that. Same way Elohim changes not. His word doesn't change. It's the same yesterday, today, and forevermore. And just because you don't agree, you don't have to partake. You don't have to go around. You don't have to hang out. You don't have to be there in their presence. But also, you can come and go as you in a public space. We are on the road together. This is a public street. You can walk right past me. I can walk right past you. You can walk right past me. I can walk right past you. I will not adopt your lawlessness. Nor will I ignore it. Nor will I hide it. If you want empathy, stop doing it. You want empathy, sympathy, pity, stop doing it. Outside of that, I'm going to keep shedding a light on the dark because whether you or not, you know it's lawlessness and want to acknowledge that it's darkness. I have a message to give for those Elohim wants to receive. I'm addressing you in this moment because you're still doing these things and then you still expect somebody to have remorse for the wickedness. Even Elohim said there's no remorse for the wicked. I'm not having no remorse for wickedness. Outside of that, the rest of the other parts of the message are not for you and your community. It's for the people of belief. This channel is not for you and your community. Though we address certain things publicly and openly, and I talk about that at times. If I'm addressing something, I'm addressing something outside of that. The message is for who Elohim said the message is for. Message ain't for you. It's for who Elohim said it's for. I might address you. I will make it clear when I'm addressing something or someone. Outside of that, it's for the people who Elohim says it's for. All the witchcraft, or the trying to steal the butterfly, trying to steal the rainbow, trying to steal the thing that Elohim, it's like the cigarette smoke when they used to do spells and all of that kind of stuff. No. Take all of that stuff to the garbage. Whether or not you think something is true or not, take it up with Elohim. Take it up with Elohim, because that's who the message is for. The people who Elohim says it's for. I'm addressing you, but the rest of that, all of that other stuff that he's giving me to say and share is not for you. I'm not going to try to sit here and make it confusing. I'm going to make it clear because that's what Elohim does. You want to walk in confusion? That's proof you doing Hasatan's work. We're not here for the Nephilim spirits. We're not here for the perverted spirits. We're not here for the narcissistic spirits. We're not here for the unclean spirits. We're not here for the gaslighting. We're not here for the manipulation. We're not here for the perversions. We're not here for the beast spirit of this beast in the last days. Mark of the beast. We're not here for none of that. We're not here for the confusion. We're not here for the evil and wickedness and darkness. We're not. We're here for Elohim. He's a disciplinary. He's disciplined. He's good. It's great. He works everything for the good. And even this is for the good, because the message for those who are believers, whether that is the piece about their ethnicity, he knows who the message is for. That's why I'm like, it's not for you. I address you, but that's moving along. Now we're about to get into the message. Shalom. Have a blessed week in Elohim and continue to esteem him. Yah, your desires be done on earth as they in Shemaim. Thank you for the day and every day and being in the land of the living and being a father over us all. Shalom. Yahuah, for these people who are concerned about the progressives in their progressive movement and why they put their progressive rainbow flag. Father, I was appalled that it was even at the hospital in regards to some people are like, well, we're trying to say we represent all, but you're not. You're not representing all. As an indigenous individual, you don't represent me. You're not a friend to me. You're not respecting my customs or my ethnicity. You're not respecting the indigenous lands you have your universities and schools on. You are not respecting brown people and our ethnic heritage. You're not respecting the Eastern heritage and the Eastern culture and the Eastern customs, the Eastern ethnicity. It's okay for you to say this organization, if your owner is for the progressive pride movement, it's okay to say that. Just like I can make a Nicaraguan shop if I wanted to, and it be about Nicaragua, or if I did Mexico, or if I did Croatia, or if I did Japan, or if I did Korea, or if I did Turkey, or if I did Romania, or if I did Pakistan, or if I did New Zealand, or if I did Uzbekistan, or if I do Malawi. It is not representative or respectful or righteous or loving or considerate or careful of even the Catholic Bible, Ethiopian Bible, Gutenberg Bible, Blue Letter Bible, Jewish Bible. You got Latter-day Saints, Mennonites, Amish. You are not respectful of any of those customs, heritages, or ethnicities. And so it's okay for you to say by gay people for gay people. It's okay for you to say by gay progressives for gay progressives. It's okay for you to say if the owner or the company or organization, well, we are being specifically discriminatory for anybody that wants to support gay people and gay progressives. And we're only hiring people who support gay progressives. Just like if I have an Indian restaurant, it is Indian food and it's an Indian restaurant and it is people of Indian ethnicity there and working there and representing that company or that restaurant or that organization or that place or that space, that's fine. But then when you sit here and lie to me with your flag about indigenous, and you're not representing my indigenous people, not in this land right here that I'm sitting on, not in this town, not in this community, you're not representing the faith of a true religion of the scripture. When it says true religion is to take care of widows and orphans and remain unspotless from the world, you're not respecting that. You're not being progressive in that. You're not honoring that. And then on top of it, for you to constantly harass in this open public space, if I am quite literally sitting in a public parking lot and you're like, we don't want you here because you're not for progressive gay people. It's not about just gays. Some people are like, I wanted to show you we're here for Eastern people. We're here for indigenous people. And other people are like, we want to show you don't belong here. What is the percentage of your gay progressive people around the almost 9 billion people living in the world? Or above 8 billion people in the world? What is the percentage? Those things don't matter, but you live a lifestyle according to your belief and your choice, where again, indigenous heritage is an ethnicity. It's not just a way of life that is chosen. You're born indigenous. Turkish, Pakistani, Malawian. That is that nation. And it's okay for a nation to be founded in, you have nations founded in Buddhism. Hinduism, Islam, Christianity, Catholicism. You are not sitting here trying to respect and honor and allow and not discriminate against hiring people up. Oh, no, we won't hire you because it might be a faith conflict, because our belief system, our theology is the progressive pride movement. And if you're not with the progressive pride movement, we'll have a progressive, like I said, in front of the hospital. They had a state flag, a United States flag, and a progressive pride flag. Well, let me tell you this, the progressive pride flag, though we got articles this week about democracy dying, the United States is not formed under a democracy. It's formed under a constitutional republic. Though democracy exists, it is a constitutional republic. And they talk about democracy dying on this week after assassinations and other things. So you talk about loving your neighbor as yourself while you're not respecting our ethnicity, our customs, and our heritage over your choice of lifestyle and your beliefs. We are not going to make your progressive pride the national belief system. Just as well as Indonesia is not making that flag its national belief system, just as in countries in Africa and other parts of Europe, South America, it's not the national belief system. And it's not literally a nation of people. It is people who have, that is your way of life. But it's not like you're from the Caucasus regions and you're a Caucasian people. That is their ethnicity. That is their nation. It is a part of their ethnicity, their customs, their heritage. Yeah, you can be adopted. Yeah, you can convert to Judaism and Catholicism. But you don't have to try to, in places and spaces that are not that are public places and spaces. Like I said, YouTube channels. If I was a yogi and this channel was all about being a yogi, I have that right. If I'm a minimalist and this channel is all about the theology, the ideology about being a minimalist, okay. If you are a progressive person and that is your theology, that is your ideology, that is your lifestyle, that is what you promote, okay. You can market your business, you can market your space as such. But then when we're in a public space, like an open field or a park, and you're on other people's lands, and even if you're not on other people's lands, and you're open, let's say we're in an open space, and you're trying to tell people, other people of actual ethnicity, true ethnic groups, true customs, true heritage, that their heritage, their customs, their people, and their nation, and their nation's founding, whether America is titled, it's on the money, one nation under God, that you cannot bring that. You can't bring your ethnicity and stuff here. You're discriminating. So that's why I said you might as well start marketing your organization as by gay people, for gay people. It's okay. It is okay. You can completely have a progressive pride organization, a progressive pride market, a progressive pride open space, a progressive pride workspace. But don't pretend that you are being respectful to Islamic people. Don't pretend that you're loving your neighbor. Don't pretend that you are loving your co-workers who are Islamic and who are Indian or who are Eastern or who are Native or who are Indigenous. Don't pretend you're loving me at all. Don't pretend you have tried to show love to me, that you tried to reason with me, that you tried to be respectful of me. You have harassed me in person in public spaces to the point when I've gone to cafes, when I've gone to stores, when I've gone to open spaces. This YouTube space is this YouTube space. And I have a right to post that. I am not carrying fishes and loaves with me everywhere I go. I am not carrying crosses with me. I'm not carrying rosary beads with me. I'm not carrying bangles and things. I'm not carrying feathers. I'm not carrying things of my indigenous heritage, ethnicity, and customs with me to post up in spaces that you're talking about are supposed to be inclusive, and you're not being inclusive at all. Your house is your castle. Stop trying to make personal or public spaces your castle, because it's not. This nation is not your castle. Judicial system is not your castle. The Supreme Court is not your castle. Legislation is not your castle. The public space is not your castle. You can do what you want inside of your house or in your own body. But in the moment you sit here and want to post your ideologies in these places that you tell me you're supposed to be inclusive, I'm going to call you out every time for your lies about how you're being so inclusive to people you're not. And how you've been harassing me so much about, spreading hatred, but that I told y'all keep doing that every single day. You have no respect for your coworkers. You smile in those people's faces every day with their Islamic, with their turbans and their garbs and their saris and these different things. And you are not respecting them in the least. The same way you have not respected me. The same way you have not spread love. The same way you have stalked me. The same way you have harassed me. The same way you have proven. You have proven that there is something like to the emotional idolatry that you have, that you want to push it in the public, to literally follow somebody to the store that they go to harass them, to follow somebody to a cafe that they go to literally these little things that y'all spell. I want to prove that you don't supposed to be here. Yeah, we did spells. Yeah, we did this and where we did that. Yeah, we're witches. Where we're this and we're that. The pettiness. You have proven the point to why the government is considering your ability to reason logically, your ability to consider righteousness and lawfulness above your own emotions. You have spent so much effort trying to get the whole world to be agreeing with you, when you should be accepting the fact that, look, I can have my progressive gay beliefs at my house. And that's more than enough. The Islamic people, the Christians, the Catholics, the Muslims, the indigenous tribes, they're like, okay, this is our people, this is our place, this is our space. We don't have to bring we're not trying to make everything assimilate to our ethnicity. The people of the scripture, I'm not trying to make the whole world, though Elohim wants all to be saved, assimilate, nor am I expecting everyone to assimilate and adopt the customs, the ethnicity, and the heritage of the scripture. Though it is nature, though it is one with nature, not everybody agrees with it. So am I saying, you cannot live in the United States if you don't assimilate to the Bible, to the scriptures, to the custom of the scripture, to the heritage of the scripture? Now, with every time I go in some place and you're harassing me and saying, you don't belong here unless you adopt this. Unless you're not Judaism, and I'm not converting to Judaism. I'm not converting to Catholicism. It's like y'all want everybody to convert to your progressive gay beliefs. It's an ideology. You are not an ethnic group. You are not a religion, because true religion is taking care of the widows and orphans and remain unspotted from the world. Y'all are not trying to be unspotted from the world. You are not a religion. You are not a heritage. You are not an ethnic group. You are not a custom. You are a culture. You are a call and operate in cultish ways. And this isn't for all gay people. This is specifically for those people who are going to the extremes of trying to inflict danger, physical danger upon people, physically stalking people, following people, harassing people. You go to people's work and you're like, I'm going to challenge you because you said you don't go to your work. I don't go to your work. I do not go to your work bringing my native garb to the open space. I don't come and bring a flag everywhere I go. I do not come and stalk you when you go to the cafe. I don't follow you in the supermarket. I don't follow you at the store. The world does not have to adopt your ideology. All the world is not going to be vegan. Are all vegans saying, oh my goodness, they don't want to convert to veganism, so they can't be here? Or, oh my goodness, we need to make veganism the national ideology. No. This nation is built under what it's built under. Indonesia, every other nation is built under the beliefs that it's built under. It's how dare you try to change the history, the heritage, the ethnicity, and the customs of people groups to suit your own feelings. Y'all are very disrespectful. You're very dishonorable. The people who did that and who are doing that witchcraft and stuff that literally said you don't belong here and different stuff is disgusting. It's like literally saying to the immigrants that have immigrated from India, that have immigrated from Africa, that have immigrated, and we're not even going to the Latin countries, that have immigrated from Russia. Oh, y'all don't belong here because you won't assimilate to Christianity. We're not actually saying that. Though America says one nation under God, does it make every person in the United States to convert to Christianity? No. So all you progressives who keep doing these sick, disgusting tactics to try to make it seem like the whole law, the whole nation, and people groups and tribes should assimilate and adopt and convert to your belief system, you need to stop. You have no respect, no honor, and no regard for other ethnicities, people groups, and heritages. And you wonder why I don't like that sick and disgusting behavior from specific people. All gay people don't act like that. You think I don't have gay people in my family? Are they acting like that? Are they operating like that? Are they trying to make everyone around them convert to their belief, to their ideology? No. Didn't I say to you that as a believer, the word tells me I will be hated by the world? And I expect that. I'm not sitting here idolizing my feelings and say, oh, my ethnicity, my customs, my heritage is not accepted, so I'm going to go make the whole world convert to my heritage, to my ethnicity, to my customs. No. You be on your way. And that's how I treat y'all. Be on your way. If you cannot have the maturity to handle not idolizing your feelings and trying to make the whole world convert to your ideology, that you would disrespect every nation, every language, every tongue, every creed, every people group, every tribe, every custom, every heritage of people that are not a part of your ideology. Because they won't convert, adopt, and accept your way of life. Your way of life is for your castle. It's for your body, not mine. And I just want you to know how disrespectful you are to every other ethnicity, every other heritage, every other custom. You're not that. You are an ideology, and every other religion, because you don't accept that other people are unique and peculiar, Y'all are such full of contradictions. And again, I'm not talking about all gay people. These specific people who keep doing all of these harassments. And yeah, there will people be offended. As I say, I get offended by things, but guess what? Am I going around and making that whole workspace or this public space convert to my ethnicity? No. Am I making them convert to my ideologies? No. Am I making them accept my ideologies? Oh, it has to be accepted. It has to belong. It has to be included. No. Is every other nation in the world doing that? No. Is Japan, Korea, India, Nigeria, Zimbabwe, the Ivory Coast, Ghana, Somalia, Brazil, Chile, Iceland, Greenland, are they all making other people adopt and assimilate and convert to one ideology? While all the while disrespecting and disregarding a people, a nation, a tribe, a language, an ethnicity, a heritage, a customs? No. So you ones that are out there doing that wickedness, who act like you can't understand how evil you have been being and unrighteous you have been being, how y'all are not walking in love, you threaten and you try to intimidate and all of that, that's not love. That's not love. That's not progressive. It's not righteous. And I've explained it in love so that with those who are blind to it, and those who think they have justification of trying to make other people disregard a whole ethnicity, a whole nation, a whole tribe and custom and heritage of people so that you can feel better within yourself or in a workspace, you are disrespectful. You are not having love. You are not progressive of a people. You are not respectful of people. You got to be respectful of other people's beliefs. You're not being respectful of other people's beliefs. You ain't not being respectful of religion. And I want to let those specific people know that. Because I know that you listen on this channel, as you said. As you have stalked and harassed and followed and made up these things and all this kind of stuff. And I recorded it and I documented it. And been documenting, as I said I would. Because you want to do all of this unrighteous stuff and wicked things. I don't care about your political affiliations, your political friends. I don't care about your political movement. I don't care about the agenda you're trying to obtain. If you read prophecy from any nation in the world with the origins the same for the entire world, you will come and get an understanding about how that won't be a national ideology. And should not be, because that's a personal choice. If I wanted to be vegan, that's a personal choice. If I want to be pescatarian, that is a personal choice. Yes, my people could naturally live by the sea. And fish could naturally be a part of our diet. We could naturally have it's not even a diet. Americans call it Mediterranean diet. You could naturally have a Mediterranean cuisine. That could be a part of your customs and your people group. You talk about soul food. You talk about Italian food. It can be a part of your customs, your heritage, and your ethnicity. But don't sit here and try to disrespect that people have a heritage, a custom, an ethnicity in favor of your feelings, of your ideology. If I want to be a minimalist, I'm not waving flags in a workspace trying to get everybody to convert to minimalism. I'm not trying to do that. I'm not trying to get everybody to convert to only eating fruit. I can voice my and share about my ethnicity and my heritage and my customs, also the belief systems and also the religion of Elohim that is a part of my people, but I do not need to be validated in feelings by trying to enforce the whole world, make it a part of national laws, disregard the founding of a nation to adopt it into national laws. Make it a part of jobs. Make it a part of corporations. Make it a part of a necessity, like when you do job applications or when you do hiring people, and it's like, oh, you have to have a percentage of the people be Hispanic, be veteran, be disabled, be indigenous for the government benefits or different things like that. Or if you work for your own and you're under incorporated or you're registered under different means. But again, I don't have to validate feelings or validate my heritage and ethnicity or validate my belief systems by saying everyone needs to convert in here. If I'm having my own organization, that's one thing, and you can have that be the standard. If I'm in a Mexican restaurant, we serve Mexican food, a Mexican cuisine, and that can be the standard. That's not unrighteous. This is a progressive, if it's a progressive gay pride organization, you can say that not being the standard, and if you don't support that, then you can't work here because you don't support that. That's fine. If it is a Catholic church, a Catholic organization, if it's Jewish, do they not go according to that? How can you fellowship here? Or how can you be a part of this? At least you convert. That's the standard. They're not in trouble. They're not sued. They're not, oh my gosh, there's some righteous when they do it. It's not. But let that be known up front and put out there. But just don't sit here and pretend that you're out here trying to love me or love this and that when you're harassing me and other people. When you're disrespecting your coworkers every single day, that you sit in here trying to act like people have to convert to your ideology. I'm on here to share what I share. As I tell you millions over and over again, you don't have to be here. I didn't drag you here. If you don't agree with the customs, with the ethnicity, with the heritage here of the word, you do not need to be in this space. And when we're building something for Elohim, those are the standards. If your measure to live by is not Messiah, okay. You're not. This space isn't for you, and that's okay. And you're not needing to be offended and feeling and say, well, I'm now going to make the whole world convert because, oh, that person wants to be a Satanist. I was literally riding next to someone in a car where it said, their car said, Hail Satan. They want to be a Satanist. That's their ideology. Am I going to fellowship with them? No. Are we going to be in the same personal space? No. Are we going to, when we make a choice, I might see them in a work environment somewhere, a public work or a public space, like on the road. We are in a public space. You're right next to me. Your car is right next to me. Am I being like, you got to convert to indigenous heritage and Eastern culture? No, I'm not. I'm not doing that, and I'm not waving flag to tell them that, and I'm not going to the Supreme Court. I'm not going to legislation. I'm not going to dockets to try to put it in there either. I'm not going to try to change the founding of this nation. I'm not going in to change the national beliefs of Japan, of China, of every country I have ever visited and lived in. I'm not going there and changing the founding of their nation to suit my own ideology. I'm not doing that. I'm not going in to change this nation, the founding, just like I'm not going on in the indigenous land and changing the indigenous way to suit my own feelings and ideology. How unrighteous? How unrighteous? You can create a space where y'all are in agreement to have that ideology, and that's fine. Don't sit here and lie and say you're inclusive when you're harassing people, you're stalking people, and you're trying to force people to convert to your ideology so you feel accepted, so you feel like you belong, so you feel included, so your feelings feel better, so you feel like life is easier for you to navigate. Are black men who feel like, or black people, or Mexican people, or immigrants in this country saying, I'm going to go and change the national beliefs of this country so that I feel more comfortable? No. Then why do you feel like you get the right to do that? Oh, well, because nobody else wanted to. No, because they have enough love and respect and honor to honor their own heritage and customs and ethnicity in their own castle, in their own being, in their own family, in their own spaces, and not enforce everybody else to convert to ideologies that they may have. You may have the ideology of electric cars. You might have the ideology of wind power. But does everybody have to sit there and convert to that? You might be under the heritage of Amish people, of Quakers, of Mennonites. Is it righteous for you to go on their land and go in their space and be like, or just go in their people group in their tribe and be like, you gotta convert to Judaism? We're gonna start hanging our flags everywhere, and if you don't like it, oh well, we're gonna start putting it. No. Haven't there been things established as far as indigenous people, as far as Amish people, as far as Jewish people in this country, as far as Catholics, as far as Quakers, as far as Mennonites? So when you accept it for those people groups, for those tribes, for those ethnicities, for those heritage, for those customs, then all other people groups who are of have the right to live by that, by their own ethnicity. I have the right to live by my own ethnicity. I have the right to live by my own heritage and my own customs. I don't have to convert to yours. I don't have to agree with yours, and I don't have to adopt yours, and yours do not have to belong in my house, in my body, in my home, in my family. I don't have to bring that into my personal space. I don't have to agree in my mind just because you like that, and that would make you feel better. That would make you feel safer. That will make you feel like you belong. That will make you feel more loved. You're not doing that for everybody else. You're not even doing that for Amish people. So why does the whole nation need to do that for you? Why should the whole nation do that for you when you haven't done it for Quakers, you haven't done it for Jewish people, you haven't done it for Catholics, you haven't done it for Hebrew people, you haven't done it for Islamic people, you haven't done it for any Eastern cultures, you have not done it for the people who've migrated here? Why do we have to do it for your one ideology? Why? It's like people saying, have you done it for every Hispanic group, every Latin group? Ethnic people, every ethnic group? No. Every heritage? No, you have not. Every custom from these, I have a right to uphold my customs. When they don't impose, not the custom of, oh, you might slaughter animals, but I'm not sitting here in a public space that's not my own, on my own land and stuff, just slaughtering. There are guidelines and stuff. I get that. But once again, I can be in a open, a parking lot, or like I said, on the road next to this person. And they have the right, that's their car. They can put that on their car. But then can they bring their satanic flags at the job, at the workspace, at a job, to the hospital? It can have public and private hospitals, but still, nonetheless, are they bringing satanic flags? Is that person who's sitting in the car next to me bringing their satanic flag everywhere they go? Is that person on the other side of me who has a Christian symbol and crosses on their car bringing their Christian flags everywhere they go? Is that person behind me who said us Catholic on here, Rosary, are they bringing all of that stuff everywhere they go? No. So why do you feel like you have a right to do that? Y'all try to make everybody convert to your ideology. And it's specific people. Once again, it's not all gay people. It's not all progressive gay people. Progressive Democrats, progressive gay people, your progressive rights, whatever. Keep it to yourself. Doing that is not talking about, don't ask or tell. It's not righteous. Because they were saying to me, well, I wanted to prove to you and I wanted to show you and you don't belong here and this and that. But you disrespecting. I come in and out of here. I don't stay here with you. But look at the people who are staying here with you. And you are disrespecting every person in here of Eastern ethnicity. Every single one. And you don't care nothing about that. Every single one of indigenous ethnicity, you don't care nothing about that. And you lying to yourself saying you represent, oh, well, indigenous is included. No, you're not. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. Not in what you're doing. So I'm talking about it because clearly maybe they don't have eyes to see it. Maybe they don't want to see it. Maybe they don't want to acknowledge it. But those specific people who are doing that harassing, who are doing that petty stuff, who are doing that retaliation trying to stuff, who are doing that wicked stuff, who are doing that petty stuff, who are doing that unrighteousness, that wickedness, that lawlessness. You are not trying to be a united people and unite people. No. Save yourself because, are you fearful of Islamic people or Eastern people? Or the nations, when you go, do you ever travel and visit these other nations who don't support gay pride or gay pride movements or progressive pride flags? Would you dare bring that on that plane or in their space or in that place? A place where it tells you don't spit on the ground here in our country. Are you going to go and do that? So again, there's things that's found here in this nation too. Why do you think that just because this is the United States, you get to just be like, oh no, everybody has to assimilate and convert to our ideologies? No, that's not how it works here. It's not how it works anywhere in the world. It's not, even though it's social media, it's not how it works on there. You have people who are off-grid living, they promote that. Veganism, they promote that. Buddhism, they promote that. Yoga, they promote that. Ethnic groups, Caribbean, Hispanic, Latin, Armenian, Arabian, they will promote whatever it is they choose to, and they have that right. That is their space. They have control over their space, their place, their person, their castle, whatever it is. You don't get to be like the whole nation has to be changed for your feelings. The whole world does not have to change for you to feel safer. for you to feel welcome, for you to feel belong, for you to feel accepted, for you to feel included. United States can have its peculiarity. It can have its things that it stands out for. It still does not have to change all of this stuff to just meet one group. One group of people with their ideology. When you, again, if I go to another nation, it says this nation, our national heritage, our national belief is Islam. I'm not going and advocating to make them change that. You're going there, you're respecting that, you're doing what you're doing. You might be there, you might stay there, you might live, you might do whatever, but you're respecting that. But does that mean you all have to convert to that? No. The United States is founded one nation under God. Does that mean that every person here? I just told you the person in the car next to me, it said "Hail Satan" on their vehicle. Does that then mean I disregard that this nation's what it's founded upon? No. If I'm a person who feels like that's a disrespect to me, they said it in a post before, and I'm like, they want to be recognized for their ill intention. You say you meant somebody harm. You say you didn't want to meet her. You say you was trying to prove something. You say you did. Not that we could work together or this or that. It's fine or it's safe. No, but that they were deliberately trying to mean ill intent and evil and harm. And so you can have that on your head. And I would say, Elohim, you heard them, right? He said they meant ill intent. And I rightly give you that debt of your ill intention. I rightly give you that debt of your ill intention because you spoke it and you said it from your own mouth and yourself. You meant ill intentions. But the whole world does not have to change and assimilate so you feel better, so you feel included, so this or that. Other people have enough honor and validity within themselves that they're like, oh no, I know my ethnicity, my heritage, my identity, my customs. We don't have to make the whole world be our ethnicity. We don't have to make the whole world be our tribe. We don't have to make the whole world be our customs. We don't even have to, okay, I know that nation is Islamic, or I know that nation is founded on God. I don't have to then go change that nation is founded on God to feel like I belong or I'm included. That person in the car next to me, do you think that was a Satanist? Did they have to go and take a Satan flag to workspaces, to spaces where other things are? This field with native plants in nature, nature's doing what it does. The dandelions are not saying to the roses, oh rose, you need to be a dandelion so I feel better, so I feel included, so I feel belong, so I feel safe. Oh rose, no, I don't want you to say this is a field or we're all here or that you're a rose because that doesn't make me feel good. No, I don't have to reject my ethnicity, my heritage, my customs, my identity of the word and beyond, and indigenous heritage or anything, and native heritage and native ways and native origins and the origins of who I am and my identity and created from Elohim, so that somebody else just feels like, well, I want to show this. You have a right to express yourself, but again, don't fool yourself or try to pretend that you're loving the neighbor when you said you meant ill intention. You are stalked, you have harassed, you have followed, you have done unrighteous and lawless and wicked things with evil intentions. And so I will call you out on that evil intention, and I will allow you to have the debt of your evil intentions by telling Elohim. And whether or not you realize or understand the depth of that, I will sit here and love and express it. That's not righteousness. That's not love. It's certainly not of Elohim. And that's not progressive or freedom or any of those things. And that is, you're like having a favoritism towards yourself. But you're certainly not treating everyone the same, especially the people you work with. That was a workspace. You definitely not showing me love, because you also said you meant it with ill intention towards me. But did you even care how the Easterners you work with feel? Every single day that you enforce that, try to enforce that upon them. Every single day that you try to enforce your, I believe this, not just your ideologies. You're not coming in. They're coming in there every day with their ethnic clothing on, from their heritage, from their customs, from their beliefs. It is a part of their beliefs, but literally that's their ethnicity. That's a part of their identity. That's a part of their customs. And they're coming dressed like that every day, because that's a part of who they are. But this is an external thing, a flag that you created to bring in a space. Does it need to be there? Is it appropriate? No, it's not appropriate there. If they can't bring a flag, then it's not appropriate. They can wear what they wear. You wear what you wear, right? You wear what you wear to represent yourself. You say what you say to represent yourself. But are they also bringing things from their custom and their nation in this workspace or in this public space? Certain spaces you have the ability to do that. But am I overthrowing your ethnicity and your identity or the nation's founding for my own ideologies? No, that's where it's like. So yeah, that wouldn't be right. That would not be right of me to do that. Like, okay, the nation's founding, I have to change the history, I have to change this and that to make myself feel accepted, feel included. No. It is okay to be like, oh, okay, I might be of a Malawian people, and this is the space. If I go into a Caribbean place, what nation is it? It could be St. Lucia, and this is the St. Lucian people. This is the language we speak. You're welcome to come here and partake and learn, but we don't have to not be that people, that heritage, that identity, that language, that custom, so that these other people visiting feel like they're included. When I go to Japan, I don't change Japan so I feel included. When I go to Ecuador, I don't go and change Ecuador so I feel included. When I am in legislation of what the nation of the United States was founded on, I don't go and change certain things so that I feel included. With regards to this nation and what it represents, and this is what it's founded upon, or not at the expense of, oh, it crosses and not does the same things with other ethnicities, other identities, other heritages, and other customs. I don't do that to overthrow the Amish. I don't do that to overthrow the Mennonites. I don't do that to overthrow the Latter-day Saints, the Catholics, the Buddhists, the vegans. No other people. Like, even if as cigarette smokers, marijuana smokers, I don't do that to overthrow any of these people. Like, I'm going to have this here, you adopt this here. Places have their standard. And I don't like, and I'm tired of these specific people who keep doing that and targeting in such ways and doing things with an evil intention. And I give them that credit for their evil intentions. You want the credit for your evil intentions? I give you the credit, because you specifically told me from your mouth. And these are the same people who told me from their mouth that they were doing spells to try to make people gay. I said, you're sitting here telling me people aren't, and you don't believe people are not born that way. Even yourself said you weren't born that way. So it's like, that there are certain things to a person's lifestyle and to their choices and to their story or their testimony. And that is fine for you and for whatever your testimony is. But don't sit here and act like or pretend or sit here and tell people and promote that you are being, oh, it's you not loving and you that's spreading saying this to me, you that's spreading hate and you don't belong, or these people don't belong, or this and that doesn't belong, when you are specifically, and that's a specific people, specifically telling me you keep doing these things with evil intentions, you keep harassing me, that's against the law, and you keep trying to make the world acclimate to you, assimilate to you, and convert to your ideology. You're not having respect for heritage, ethnicity, customs. I'm on here saying what I need to say. People don't have to agree. They don't have to come into this space. When I was in that this one organization, volunteering, they were a religious organization. We were literally in a church. And they were literally a religious organization, founded by religious organizations. And they wanted to kind of like ignore that whole history. Because what if people don't like that if you say one nation under God? But it was founded by the Catholic, Jewish, and Christian church. And we're in a church. And you're a rector. And you're a pastor. And you are a faith people. So the faith community, those people of different faiths, and you can be offended. You cannot like it, but you don't have to be listening to this channel. You don't have to be in, you don't have to go to Japan. If you don't like the way of Japan. You don't have to come to the United States if you don't like the way of the United States. But if you're there, you can know that, okay, this is what they stand for, this is what it represents. I don't have to go into a church if I don't agree with what they're doing or what they stand for. I could go in, I might be doing an errand at one time and have to come in contact with it, but that doesn't mean I have to stay there and belong there, or be offended that they have a different belief, or acclimate or assimilate, or ask them to acclimate or assimilate or adopt it. Nor do I need to rewrite law and history to make myself or anybody else feel better about it. And I think that, it's wrong when these people that are doing that and going to the extreme of doing that. I personally look at myself like, why would I need to be validated with myself so much that I'm trying to make the whole world acclimate, assimilate, and adopt certain ideologies? I believe in being minimalistic, but am I literally going to, I believe in, let me say this for example, this is a great one, clothes of one material. Am I going to legislation to say, I want you to only produce, I don't want to have blended clothes anymore? Am I literally going to legislation to do that? I could. But am I going to impose that upon everybody else from having the opportunity to buy whatever kind of different variety of clothing and materials and textures and what they can afford because of the standard I live by? No. But I believe in minimalism. Am I saying, no, I'm capping it. Nobody can ever become a millionaire. Nobody can ever be a billionaire. Nobody can live in a mansion. Nobody can have so much X, Y, and Z of items and consumerism. No. I'm not literally saying that, and I'm not literally then going to change laws for it. I will express, this is my ethnicity, this is my custom, this is my heritage, these are my beliefs, and this is my identity. But I don't have to then go make you assimilate to certain things of my lifestyle, acclimate to things of my lifestyle, include my lifestyle in your everyday choices, in your personal space, in your private space, in your workspace, in your public space. As I said, every space has its specific guidelines, and even with that, when to be offended by this place, it's acceptable for them to have their guidelines, but you specifically, I'm gonna tell you can't have your guidelines. That's people are trying to do to me. That's why I'm addressing it, because it's like, the double standard or the contradiction, or you're contradicting yourself and this and that. No, I'm addressing specific people who keep trying to harass about their progressive gay beliefs, their progressive gay ideologies. I'm specifically being very specific to those individuals who keep doing that. Those specific individuals only. I'm not talking to anybody else. This message is specifically for those individuals doing that, who are harassing about their progressive gay ideology. They have admitted to doing witchcraft. They have admitted to doing spells to try to make people gay. They have admitted to trying to make people gay. They have admitted to their evil intentions. They have admitted to their harassment. They're trying to put pressures, intimidations, and just the evil works they've done. They have admitted this. And I'm talking to those specific individuals. And they know who they are. And I know they've been on this channel and listened to this channel and try to challenge me on those certain things. But I'm speaking to you specific people. You specific ones. You know exactly who you are. I'm speaking to them. I'm not speaking to anybody else. I'm not speaking to the gay people in my family. I'm not speaking to the gay people I run around the world. I'm speaking to those specific individuals. And yes, there may be certain things that apply to all people to consider. Hey, if I'm talking about this person not working in love, but am I being disrespectful to? Hey, I have Easterners literally working with me every day. Why am I? If I'm going to throw my flag in the air, then I got to let them throw their flag in the air. If I'm not letting them throw flags in the air, then I can't throw flags in the air. In this space, in their space. Not in their space, but I mean like in a workspace or in a public space. For instance, but a nation being founded upon a nation is that. A tribe being founded in a tribe, a heritage and a heritage is a heritage, a culture. A custom is a custom. An ethnic group is an ethnic group. Yeah, there are certain ideologies and theologies and lifestyles and choices that each person will make. Every tribe, heritage is not the same. Every person from, let me go say Malawi again, is not under the same, doing and living life exactly the same way. And they have the ability to be over themselves in that way. To be over their own household in that way. And that's fine. The nation itself has certain guidelines. Has certain, a belief as a standard. Just like you can have a national flower. You can have a national anthem. You can have a national flag. You can have a Declaration of Independence. A constitutional republic. And in that constitutional republic, does democracy exist in people? But is it a constitutional republic? Does it take away from that in the history? So you get indigenous land. Are you taking away from the fact that this is an indigenous land? No. Are you honoring that? Are you respecting that? Anyway, you are doing this to validate. You don't need to validate. No, I'm tired of these individuals thinking that they need to constantly get people to agree with these specific individuals, their progressive gay lifestyle, their progressive gay ideologies, their progressive gay theology even, that they tell me about. But they are not. And they keep crying to me about hate and not love and respect. But I want them to know they're not doing that. They're not doing that. And the hope is that you would consider, as much as they want me to consider things, that they would consider thinking more deeply, thoughtfully, mindfully, or even seeing and understanding what they're not, as they have said to me. Because again, that was a workspace, and you are literally like, immediately when I saw certain things, it's like, You didn't even care about the person standing right next to you. But you keep saying these things to me, and those people are right there next to you and working with you and around every single day. And you have no regard for them. But you want to tell me, well, you need to be more loving and walk in love and this and that. So it's like, hopefully you want me to open my eyes, open your eyes. You want me to hear, you hear. You want me to see, you see. You want me to understand, you understand. You want me to pray, you pray. You want kindness, then you better stop doing things of evil intent and doing witchcraft and literally going to the level of saying, I did this for this reason. Like, you're telling me you're doing these evil things. And you're saying you're doing it with an evil intention. Perhaps it will be healthier for you and better for your life. And you would maybe be more content. Maybe be more accepting of yourself. And loving of yourself and caring less about others and accepting you. If you would not do such things for the purpose of ill intention. For the purpose of ill intention. So the intention was not for a good intention. This is an intention that I would hope. I'm not asking you to change. But the very things that you're seeking, like, help you find it within yourself. And as I pray, I put that message out earlier, I pray that Elohim helps you. I pray that Elohim helps you with those things that needing validation outside of your own soul. Needing that validation outside of your own soul. I genuinely mean that. And I've said it before more than once. Just as I've said, Yahuah Elohim is not for the things that bring death, but for life. And I pray he desires all to be saved. That you would have things and desire things and do of the things that are life-giving and not emptiness, vain, lack, the poverty of the spirit, meaning lack or death. But have life. Anyway, yeah, you have your way. You do what you need to do, and peace and blessings to you. And even the retaliations and the anger and the hurt, that those people will be healed. They will be healed because people got upset that was a conversation, and I have every right to express about the conversation. And you're revealing the personal things about people and different things and this and that. I have a right to share my testimony. But that person, to the one person that wasn't loving themselves and was seeking so much validation, that did genuinely have hate for their own self. You know, talk about, the therapy and go through therapy and like you're giving therapy or counseling or you need to do your own and different things like that. It's like, there's a lot that could be said, but I just pray that you would have the life within your own soul. And Elohim, your desires be done on earth as they are in the Shemayim. Yahushua Mashiach. Shalom. It was Shabbat. People try to prevent me. There were actually people saying, as every time I'm trying to put something on YouTube, I don't want you posted on YouTube. You shouldn't be on there. I'm going to try to prevent you. I'm going to try to block you. And they certainly have tried to block me. That's why it took the message that was supposed to go out yesterday. They tried to block me. However, I don't agree with them. I tell them, every single time you try to come against me, and if it's something of Elohim that he wants to go forth, it's going to go forth. You cannot stop Elohim. And you certainly can't stop me, but more so you're not going to stop whatever Elohim wants to do in and through me. And so for those people, like, I just pray that you help them, yeah. I pray that you help them. And that I know you're going to complete all of the good work you've begun, and the plans that you have, Father, will be fulfilled, and your prophecies are being fulfilled. And yeah, you're going to do what you need to do, yeah. You're always going to do what you need to do, and everything that you say is always going to be fulfilled and get done And so I just thank you, and I thank you for your time on today, revelation on today, purpose in today with you, your love from you, just everything that you have provided and given, your purpose and your plans. And just continue to let your desires be done on earth. I pray that it was a wonderful Shabbat for others as well. It was just beautiful and wonderful to be with you, Father, to be in your nature, to just bask in your presence on today. And I really appreciate it. And I just thank you, and looking forward to eating from your word. And continue, Father, to be life. Continue to be good. Continue to be Father. Continue to be created. Continue to be Elohim. And continue to let your desires be filled on earth as they are in Shalom. Yahushua Mashiach, come on. Shalom. Another thing is, they aren't supporting the black people down here in that black community, and there's a lot of silent while the evil swallows up the good. You've seen me witness to the places you've taken me, to the neighborhoods where they're pushing those people and people of color to the lesser than housing and development in areas. And even the Hispanic people, as they said, they told me one of the older, like, which would have been historic areas, oh, it's not safe there. There's a lot of drug activity or different things that go on there. And I was like, well, why would they be there then? Why would their churches be there? And what are their churches doing? That's why I was like, they're also not a religion, because they're not remaining unspotted from the world. To this week, they also decided to hang that flag. I'm going to go take a picture of this church, y'all. They decided to hang the flag outside of this old church, out of this building. And when I was at this festival, they sent this lady with a child and stuff over, and there are other people from the church, and they told me they were from the church, and they were like, go to the church and this and that. And that's why I was like, look at what they're trying to show as far as progressivism. I mean, I'm going to take a flag of inside the workspace. This public worker, this workspace, I took a picture of it. I'm going to take a picture of the church. I'm going to take a picture of what they're trying to show you. But remember, this is native area. Remember, this land does not belong to those people. Remember, none these people who are attacking, who are also political people, they don't own properties here. They don't have land here. They're not native here. And even the black women who are representatives of this area, who have so-called lived here their whole life, don't own properties here, don't own land here. And I'm like, how do you say you have so many connections and so many affiliations and you don't even own a house? You and your sons don't even have a house that you own and live in. You and your sons, as a single mother, you don't even have a house that you own and you lived here all your life. And you have all of these affiliations with some groups and sororities and churches and black churches in the state. Is that what that church taught you? Did they teach you whoredom? Did the sorority teach you whoredom? Did the black progressives in the great progressive pride movement teach you whoredom? Did the progressive Democrats teach you whoredom? If you have all of these connections, what are you in politics for? And the men, the gay transgender man who's also in politics, who's promoting that. What are y'all in politics for if you remain silent, but all you do is harass people all day? If you call your friends up to sabotage the opportunities of work, if you do things within the school district and the school system, what is the purpose of you having friends? What are you purpose of you being friends with a mayor whose wife used to work at the hospital that's waving the gay flag, the gay progressive flag? And she might still work there, the mayor's wife. That's what y'all support, right? the transgender person, the mayor, the person who's a representative of this area, the black woman? What about the black man too? The gay black men? What is the point of y'all actually having churches and being here? I was like, they talked about their black community. Well, where's the black community? Where are y'all supporting black people here? Where are you supporting the Hispanics here? Now you go to the areas, the Indians, Koreans, Asians, Eastern countries, Soviet Unions, Russians, other people who have migrated here, let's say at least over the last 30 years, they're flourishing. They're flourishing. And even people who own land, who are native here, and I mean native people here, they still have their property and stuff. But these other people, they have all these connections and they're silent. And I said, how are you going to be a voice for the people? How are you going to be protective of the people? How are you going to ensure the people when y'all are being silent? When y'all's property and y'all's rentals and different things are being taken away from y'all, and y'all talk about chocolate excellence and chocolate brilliance and black excellence, while y'all's black people are suffering, or while y'all's black people are getting put in the lesser than communities here. Where's your chocolate brilliance then? And even the other melanated people. Yeah, you even have Hispanics and stuff as far as business and stuff. Oh yeah, they're flourishing. Even Middle Easterners, yeah, they got businesses, they're flourishing. Hispanics, the Korean church, flourishing. Indians, flourishing. But where is your black excellence flourishing at? Y'all are still being treated like chattel. And you're the one who's a part of it. And you talk about you cared about black lives. You hung your Black Lives. I'm going to take a picture. Y'all, they hung a Black Lives Matter flag. And progressives, but they care more about the pride movement. They're more on their pride ideology. I'm going to show you. Their pride ideology than they are for the black people. That black gay man, that black woman, that transgender gay man, the mayor. Where are they supporting these black lives and black men movements here? Where are they? They don't even own a house. That black gay man don't even own a house. That black woman don't even own a house. They're not even, some of them, they're not even from here. They're not native to this area. Their military experience, where are they even promoting to have veterans have homes? They're veterans. And they don't even own a home. They don't own a home. They don't have a house. And these pride people, these gay progressive pride people talk about my family. Your family, you talk about this community is your family, and they're not even supporting you. You've lived here all your life, that black woman, and she doesn't even have a home for her children. You don't even own a home for your children. You know all of these different groups, and they don't even give you these things. Did you just now get a home after all of your life? Are you waiting to is it now because I've challenged that you might be getting a home? They got upset about the idea of me buying property here. Oh, you won't buy property. You won't get a house here before me. Though they don't know my people. No, they don't know this native lands here. Doesn't belong to them. It doesn't belong to them. And I am a native person here. But why would I have to, should I have to say that? No, I should not. I should not have to say that. Those things don't matter. What matters to me is how are y'all saying you're not supporting even Black lives here. I've seen how you put and cheated the Black people like chattel, and you are discriminating. Even the other melanated people. But they're even progressing further than you. The people who have migrated way, like I said, Indian people are flourishing here. Easterners are flourishing. As far as businesses, Hispanics, Latins are flourishing. Where are y'all's Black businesses at? Where are your programs for Black men here? Because you said you cared about programs for Black men. Where are they at? Where are your programs for Black women here? Where are the houses that your Black people own here? Your Black people, not my native people, not the people of my family, not the native land, not the tribal land, but I mean, where are your Black people since these other people immigrated from other states? I'm not talking about the Indians. I'm not talking about the Easterners. I'm talking about the people who have immigrated here from the United States, migrated here from other states and other states, who are in politics, who are part of the Black progressives movement and the Black Lives Matter movement, and the down low men, and the women that support that. If you are a gay individual, you can be gay, you can be happy, but why are you lurking in the shadows, assaulting people, being silent? How can you stand on a stage? How can you stand before thousands of people? You can't even ensure one person's safety. You're intimidated and afraid of me. How are you going to stand before over 330,000 Delawareans? How are you going to stand in front of, even if the town only had 30,000 people, but you are afraid and intimidated by me, one woman? You can't even stand before me as one woman. You are afraid and intimidated and hiding and cowering. How are you going to stand before even 10,000? How are you going to represent even one town? How are you going to do that? That woman, that transgender man, the mayor, although they put y'all in these positions, did you truly get enough votes? Did the people show out and vote for you? Because I remember doing forums where they said they didn't know these people, they didn't support these people. Oh, these people been in office and did this and did that, and they have not done anything for our communities. Some of them have even been fired from jobs in the community because of such. Because they have not been holding the law, though they're supposed to represent the law. You are supposed to be, how are you going to be a representative of the law when you are harassing me? How are you supposed to be a representative of the law when you are stalking me? How are you supposed to be a representative of law when you're sabotaging deliberately people in the community and doing ill will? How are you supposed to be a representative of the law when you are upholding unlawfulness? When you're scheming with wicked churches and wicked men and wicked women and wicked individuals for your own personal gain. When you're trying to sabotage, intimidate, and you're not even from here. You're not even from here. You're not even from here. And you're doing lawlessness. How are you going to stand before the people as a lawful leader when you can't even lead yourself? When you are doing lawlessness against one person, when you're spending all your time and resources and using your friends to spend so much time to come against me as one individual, or come against me and my family because you want to have political gains, but you are a coward because you are lurking in the shadows and you are afraid. And instead of being bold, like you said, oh, we take action. Where are you taking action? Where are you being a change agent for the transformation of the community? Oh, y'all took my idea to add a railroad crossing because it was unsafe. Y'all took those ideas. But how are you as mayors, as representatives, as black men and black women, even transgender individuals, veterans yourself, migrants here from other states yourself, going to stand before and even help 1,000 people when you are afraid of one woman? When you are sabotaging the welfare of one woman, her family, children, all of that kind of stuff, and you are not even provided for, as you are a woman with 2 children, you're a single mother, how are you even, when you've been there, oh, I've been in this area, or I represent this area, and I know all of these groups, and I know all of these churches, but you don't even, these people are supposed to be your friends, your family, your community, and they have not even ensured, as you have lived here, what you said, all your life. You've had more than 30 years, 30 years of friendships, 30 years of connections, multiple organizations, and none of them, you still don't have the safety and secure, the stability for you and your children. How are y'all supposed to? That's why people don't come out and vote and support. The voter turnout is low. Why? Why? Oh, well, now we got properties, or we have properties, or we have family property, or we have this, or we have that. The progressive people. Well, we have this organization here, and we'll support the progressive. Once again, where are you supporting your black people? You said you want to be for black people. Where are all of y'all's black businesses? I'm not just talking about the little hair shop around the corner. Where these people are whispering, hey, we have this business. Why are y'all lurking in the shadows, keeping quiet and keeping silent and hiding? It can't be open and public about y'all's businesses. About owning, about, oh, you have this, you have your development in a lovely area. You have your homes and stuff be made out of nice and natural materials that are built to withstand not cheap and crappy and weak builds. But you want to be doing something for the black people in the black community and for men. But how are you representing men, even if you're a gay man? How are you representing heterosexual men? Oh, yes, there's a lot of families down here. Strong families put together. I see it, but what are the strongest ones I see from a lot of the Eastern culture here? I mean, not culture, the Eastern heritage. The Eastern countries. Eastern countries. That's where I see the strongest families, communities, thriving, prosperity. Y'all have allowed that. You got the progressives coming in there. Oh, we have these little church, and that's why I'm not going to those churches and stuff where you talk about you want to support even black lives. This flag where you're not supporting natives, you're not supporting black people. I could go around here and literally take video in one day and show you these neighborhoods and these communities. And you can do a comparison yourself. You can go online and do the comparison. You can go do the mathematics and the data. You can go look up the deed records. You can look up the land records. You can look up the sale records. You can look up, oh, who's got what, who's affiliated with what and actually got help or got property or didn't. You can look it up. 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 You can look up shell companies. You can look up multiple names. You can look up lineage. You can look up history and territories. You can look up a lot of stuff and understand whether or not, is it in the great-grandparents' name? Is it in your name? Is it what? That's why you don't know anything about us and what we have and what we own or this or that. These people talked about they wanted a house and they wanted a property, and you mean to tell me you still don't have one? That's what they wanted for so long. I mean, if I lived in a place for over 30 years and I wanted that for so long, and I so-called had relationships and connections, and I was a politician. What are you a politician for? Why are you even in politics if you got these connections and you can't even have your basic needs met? Why are you in politics if you can't even help anybody else get their basic needs met? Why are you in politics if all you have done is help those who not can just help themselves, but if you help those where you profit off of it? Why would you be even in politics if you have to have an everyday job? Why are you working for the state and the government if you're not even making a living wage? Why are you working for them if you're not even having enough to support your family? Why are you keeping their secrets and taking their bribes and scheming and doing all of these things? You talk about slander. Look it up. Look up who took bribes. Look up the bribes of the Black Lives Matter movement. Look up the schemes of the Black Lives Matter. But look up the origins and the history of it. What was it originally founded on? And people tried to take that over. It's just like when Elohim created the rainbow in the sky as a covenant, and people nowadays try to say the rainbow means something else that it doesn't mean. The Black Lives Matter movement was not founded upon the principle of what? Of just Black Americans, was it? That's not where it originated. It was not the founding idea. Though people try to adopt that, but also it was adopted around the world for what other beliefs? And then now we include this or we include that, we added to it. Well, the word, when you have the word, when you are the people of the word, it doesn't add to, it doesn't take away. A rose means what a rose means. A rainbow means what a rainbow means. A butterfly means what a butterfly means. Good means what good means. Love means what love means. Perfect love means what perfect love means. So though you go and you hang these things, they don't mean anything. Because again, this isn't your native land. And you disrespect that. It's not your native land. By trying to enforce, this right or that right. But no, where are you doing that? Where are you truly supporting the indigenous people? Where are you giving, your universities have to publicly acknowledge you're built on the native lands. But what else are you doing? On the back end, yes, there's government things that go on. Credits and tax credits. People get a percentage of hiring at certain kinds of organizations and companies. But again, where are you doing for the blacks in your own community since you sold for black people? Black Lives Matter. Progressive. Where? Where are you helping black men, black single men, black heterosexual men? Where are you helping black heterosexual women? Where? Where are you helping true black families, not blended families? I'm not saying you can't help these other people, because I said the Easterners, all the Eastern ethnicities are thriving here. All the Eastern ethnicities are thriving in this particular town. But y'all at the same, this is the beautiful juxtaposition of Elohim. Because though you hang a flag that is a direct insult to Eastern heritage, custom, identity, and beliefs, and standards and morals, to the books, whether it's the Quran, whether it's an Ethiopian Bible, whether it is of the original scriptures, though the flag you hang and the things you say are direct opposition to Eastern heritage, all the Eastern ethnicities in this town are thriving. Have you noticed that? All the Eastern ethnicities in this town are thriving. That goes from Russia, any Eastern ethnicity, Eastern nations, Eastern tribes, Eastern heritage in this town is thriving. It's thriving. Remember that when you hang these flags as trying to be an insult to me or anybody else. When you try to say you're progressive, or when you try to say you are for melanated people, where you're trying to say you're inclusive, the Eastern ethnicities are thriving in this particular town. All of them. Whether you are from countries in Asia, the Middle East, Russia, the northern regions, Africa, New Zealand, they're thriving in this town. In this town. So you try to be an insult to me and other people. You meant it with ill intentions. You truly did. You came from the West. Literally, one of you came from the West of this state. But I want you to know, as you tried to do it in ill will and ill intentions and be disrespectful and be dishonorable to Elohim and our ethnicities and our heritages and our culture and our native peoples and the native lands and our rights and our ability to be an ethnic people, all of the variety of them, though you came from a Western state, a state and west of us and all of that, the Eastern ethnicities, nations, and peoples and customs are thriving in this town. Think about that when you talk about trying to be loving your neighbor. When you think about, you talk about coming for you. I'm not coming for you when you try to come for me. Or our people. Or our places. Or our land. Think about that. Another thing, you got people debating whether these representatives and whether these politicians, whether these black women, black men, and all of that are gay or not. They coming to me asking about whether they're gay. Listen, the people cannot trust you if you are afraid of your own identity. Being gay is not the identity, but these people from this progressive gay flag who are harassing and being extremists. I'm on it. I told you I'm taking pictures of where they started putting all of this stuff up because of the stuff that's posted. They're being extremists. Was that not extreme? A person saying, oh, I'm going to go get a gun. Yes, people have said that to me. They are being extremists. Extremists. And I don't say this for any one of my relatives or anybody native here to be afraid. But these people have been extremists. You are extreme to hide if you are gay. How can anybody trust you to lead, to do anything, to speak, to represent when you are afraid of your own self? Just like I said, you being afraid of me and intimidated by me, When you're supposed to serve thousands of people, but you don't have the courage to do it. If you don't have the courage to come out and speak to one individual, how are you going to represent and protect and serve and be a public servant to thousands? People talk about my behavior, my actions, and this is contradictory. They've been hypocritical and they've been contradictory. How are you representing anybody when you lurk in the shadow and you do those intimidation? You do the evil tactics. You know you act like prison guards. You know you also act like slave herders. That's the tactics you've learned and to do your, hazing. Hazing in fraternities and sororities do that kind of stuff. Gangs do that kind of stuff. Politicians do that kind of stuff. Hollywood does that kind of stuff. The entertainment industry, how do I know? First-hand experience. You do that kind of stuff. There's a reason there's a such thing as the No Fear Act. No retaliation. No the intimidation. It is the same thing as you calling a racial slur inside of a job or by an acronym, because you're deliberately doing that kind of stuff to try to intimidate. You're still showing me you are following a plantation model. I know you read those books about how to enslave a nation, and you are quite literally utilizing those tactics to enslave people. You are quite literally still perpetuating the plantation and slavery model. You don't want people to look at Delaware as a slave state, but you are operating like such. You are hurting and treating people like chattel and doing intimidation tactics. And I know some of you, I know you have backgrounds in testimony and abuse and all that kind of stuff, but you talk about me being abusive or other people, but what you're doing is abuse. It's harassment. It's illegal. And you talk about with me, I navigated resources and I got people's consent whether or not I could share things with them. I got consent whether or not I could communicate. And even when Elohim told me to get out of the way because he was doing something or move away from something, or you no longer have to volunteer there, or you no longer serve here or do this or do that, I made a note and I communicated. If you are too afraid to communicate with me righteously, you do it. You still talk about how you doing witchcraft. I bring it up because you talk about it. And you trying to hide it from the people, but I'm not hiding it from the people. How can the people trust you and they haven't trusted you? All last election season, they said they don't trust y'all. They don't know y'all. Y'all don't know them. Y'all haven't been helping them. They've been telling y'all for decades y'all don't help y'all communities. Y'all not bringing people together. Y'all are the sellouts. Y'all take bribes. Y'all canoodling. Y'all abusing the people in your viewer relationships with. Y'all caught out on camera doing all these kinds of things to your spouses and other people in your relationship, all kinds of stuff. You caught with drugs and coke and doing all kinds of things. But we don't want to talk about that. Y'all don't want to talk about that stuff. Oh, don't bring up the past. But are you still perpetuating that? Are you perpetuating from here? I don't want to see it, and I'm not sitting here trying to look, oh, you just got an evil eye. No, I'm going to take these pictures of these flags where you think that this is an intimidation tactic, or, oh, I'm going to keep you on a political sphere, on a political ticket. I'm not. Why would I want to have anything to do with people who, again, you call these people your friends, they've backstabbed you, they got you fired, and you went crawling back to them. They're like, this is why we calling you the snitch. I didn't agree to anything with these people of being in agreement with you. I told them I agree with Elohim. And the way y'all operate is not of Elohim. The way you operate is of plantation, is of slavery, is of enslavement, of his chattel, of intimidation tactics, of like your prison guards, of like you own something and you don't. Like this land belongs to you and it doesn't. Like all of the space and all of the world belongs to you and it doesn't. Like everybody has to care about you or bow down to you and we don't. Well, we want you to see that that's how we feel about you. It doesn't matter. I'm not trying to come and be your friend. I'm not coming and hanging out in your theater. I'm not coming to hang out in your church. I'm not going to your YouTube channel, so why does it matter? But you following around me to do that. This is why this week's proverb is correctly on time. And the discussion we have for Shabbat is on time. Because the wicked don't rest until they have done something wicked. They don't rest at all. Because Elohim said there's no remorse for the wicked. And they're like, you're the one without rest because you're addressing. I'm addressing because Elohim says you don't sit by and watch the evil swallow up the good. I was contemplating last night whether I would release this. And Elohim reminded me, remember, when you know something is unrighteous, when you know it's lawful, you sit by, you don't say anything, you don't do anything about it, you don't disagree with it, don't give unwilling consent to anything that's wicked. I do not give consent to any of this wickedness. So I would not partake with it. Because these people know, they deliberately have told me repeatedly, they did these things with ill intention. And you think that I should hide that from the public, people like the public don't already know, and the things that the public tell me? The things that the public have said about, the things that the public have watched, the videos, it's not just rumors from certain things. They have watched you. They have been at those bars with you. They have been at those places with you. They have been out on the streets when you were lurking about. They saw you with people that wasn't your spouse. They saw people out on the down low. And we don't care. It's not your personal testimony, but how can you represent? This is why the people don't come out and don't trust you. And how can you represent when you're afraid of one individual, when you're intimidated, when you do all of these things against me out of fear because you want to be on a political ticket? You would do all the things you could try to do in your power, try to get every person you know to come against me so you could try to advance your political career. But you're operating in fear. You are operating in fear. And people and sick people's mindset is like, this is proof you don't belong here. No. Look at like I said, all the Eastern ethnicities thriving here. Do they all leave and shut their businesses down and sell their homes? Because these ignorant individuals who are operating in fear and intimidated by them try to retaliate? No, you know what other people who are of ethnicities and even the Hispanic and Latin community said to me when they saw these actions and behaviors? Don't even worry about it. They don't pay no mind. I see their attitude. I see the way they're acting. I see what they're doing and treating. It was like, don't even pay no mind. Because their livelihood and life doesn't stop because you're ignorance. Because you're fear. You are operating in fear and intimidated. And you try to do everything in your power to come against me because you're intimidated. Because of your fear, because of what could be exposed. But the children of the light are not afraid to come to the light. And they're not afraid for the truth to be exposed. But you've proven that you have not been walking in the light and you walked in fear and you are afraid for the truth to be exposed. You are afraid for truth to be exposed. Nobody truly cares whether or not y'all are down low people or not. If you are, don't be afraid. Come out and say it. How you going to represent anybody living a fake existence? Fake existence. You don't have relatives. If you have relatives here, why aren't you fellowshipping with your relatives? Why aren't you having, that's what people said to me, why aren't you hanging out with your relatives? I said, I'm not on the farm right now, but does that mean that I don't have a farm? I'm not living overseas with my relatives overseas, but does that mean I don't have relatives overseas? I'm not living in any of the states with all of my relatives that are there, but does that mean I don't have relatives there? You buy things. Do you buy everything in your own name? Did you buy everything in a business name? Just because you don't know the inner and outer details doesn't know. It's the same thing for us. No, you're the one that said you're still, somebody said to me, you're not going to buy our property before me. No way. Like, that's what I'm saying. These people that got afraid and upset that, oh, you're going to buy stuff, you're going to be here with, well, I got to get on my grind. What? Some of them encouraged and other ones are intimidated and afraid. But just because you're intimidated and afraid, it's just like the people who try to sabotage farms, sabotage organic growers, sabotage even culinary businesses. Got culinary legacy bakeries shut down because they wouldn't make your wedding cake. I know many people in that industry. You try to shut down businesses, try to sue people because it didn't go the way you like. Oh, y'all see it in a big public eye. You want to sue big box stores if they don't want to advocate for you. But they don't have to. Create your own store and advocate for yourself. Create your own business and advocate for yourself. Again, like I said, the Easterners are not all leaving what they've been building just because you are intimidated and afraid. And somebody said to me, I'm not losing out on my political career because of the things that she's saying. You older black woman from Philly. I'm not losing out on everything or other people or otherwise because of the stuff that she's saying. Well, look at what these other people are doing. They're like, now we understand. Some people who were like, I thought you weren't serious, but I seen, like, why are they acting like that? You're only causing havoc for other people. You're causing havoc for other people. Oh, I understand why she has a problem. It's not that she hates gay people as they were saying, but she's hating the people who are just, or she's exposing the people. This is why she keeps bringing it up and talking about it. Because they keep doing these shenanigans and think that people should accept those shenanigans. No, I shouldn't accept that you're doing this, and I should say something. And yes, it is disrespectful to every Eastern ethnicity here. And if you drive around and paid attention and were considerate, you would see that it's all the Eastern ethnicities that's thriving here. Like I said, in this particular town. But you keep doing these things that are disrespectful to Eastern heritage, culture, Eastern heritage, custom, traditions, ways, like quite literally down to the religious books, down to the people and their identity. But y'all have not cared about that. But guess what? That hasn't stopped them from thriving. No. What you're doing isn't going to stop me from doing the work that I have to do, or that Elohim called me to, or being in a place that is space that he called me to be in. No. I'm not stopping because you are fearful, intimidated. You don't want to have public. You don't want to come out and say what you got to say. You are lurking in the shadows. You are stalking. You are hiding. You are down low. True life does not stop because of all of your fears and concerns, worries, and intimidations. your retaliation because you're intimidated that you think it's going to intimidate somebody else. No. Because you think you hold a sign and say, we're here. Okay, and so are all the Easterners. Did we have to put out a flag to say it? No. We didn't have to put out a flag to say it. I'm quite literally East Coast and quite literally Eastern nations. If we had to put out a flag to say it or to try to intimidate you, no, they're still operating businesses, owning homes, being present in this town, having family and community of their own, just like the Amish have community to themselves. Indians have community to themselves. Koreans have community to themselves, and stores and shops. And nobody's offended. Nobody's offended. You go and you partake. So no one gets offended by their specific ethnicity, their identity, their people, their heritage, and their customs. And you are free to, they allow you to come and partake and learn and be involved or eat of their cuisine. And so why should you not treat others the same? But for these individuals that are lurking and hiding and who are like talking about, this is my family here. And I'm like, they're like, is that how your family treats you? Is that how your family treats you? I made my decisions and I stand by them. You seem to not be standing by your decision. You just seem to be allowing people to speak for you and run and do this and that for you. And when one of my relatives said that on my behalf, I said, nobody speaks for me. They don't speak for me. You don't get to make decisions. You don't get to try to pretend to be Elohim in my life and say who I'm married to, who I'm not, who I'm affiliated with, who I'm not affiliated with. You don't get to do that. Not in my life. Not in my life. And so I have records. That's why Elohim has given me record of every prophecy he has spoken. The Bible is a record of it. But literally there's photos and there's writings and there's literally from even my own spouse writing down himself these records in his own words. So all of that kind of stuff. And it's just like the people who are playing these games where it's just like they are cowards. Again, nobody cares if they're down low, but guess what? How can you be an identity when you're afraid of yourself? Are you afraid of your own shadow? Why lurk in the shadows? Why pretend to be mighty and strong? Why pretend to have some power and authority? Why pretend to, I got connections in this and that when you refuse to be bold, be strong, be brave, be courageous? You're lurking, you're hiding in your cowardice. Do you think that anybody would trust you to stand on a political stage to give a speech in front of people? And again, you're intimidated by me as one individual. No, the nation will not. No, the community does not. The people on the ground do not. Boots on the ground, they don't. The numbers show it, but the people said it from their own mouths. People in the communities have said it from their own mouths. Even the people who came to me from those churches you go to said it to me. Even the people in the churches you go to said it to me. They do not support it. But yeah, it's not supported. It's not supported to say we're inclusive or this or that. To me, it's an insult to even put indigenous and black on the flag when then you treat the people in your so-called communities that way and discriminate against them and push them out or try to put them in certain places and spaces. That's not righteous. But I'm taking I said I will continue to document things, continue to take pictures of things and places and spaces. I will continue to do that because these people talk about they're not walking. You don't walk in love. They're not walking in love. They're not walking in love. You are literally You are literally like, oh, I'm going to hang this outside of this place. It's quite literally a Eastern restaurant across the street from where you're hanging your flag at. And then another one on the other side. Do you think that that is insulting to all of the Eastern heritages? Have you even considered? I'm not saying that they don't. This isn't, again, like, oh, people don't like gay people, but they have a belief system. There is a belief as a part of their ethnicity, their heritage, their identity, their literal natural identity that they were born with, given by Elohim, and has existed since the beginning of time. As a nation, as nations and nations and nations of people. And they're not saying, oh, you can't come and eat at this restaurant. But would you go in there and being like, well, because no, you go in and you respect that this is the restaurant, this is their guidelines, these are their offerings and different things like that. So you're down here acting like I could take over. No, Eastern, actually, like I said, if you paid attention, Messiah takes over, but the Eastern nations are actually who are taking over this area. Eastern nations, even when you have Italian people, those nations are in the East. They're not in a Western hemisphere. So y'all are literally like sitting here acting like it is wrong for me to have my ethnicity and my identity and my customs and my heritage, while y'all be disrespectful and dishonorable to all of that, of all these different nations around the world. And then you're like, you're doing that? No. Because when I interacted with people, I had to write, and if I accidentally sent, oh, in God we trust, to somebody else who didn't like it, I was like, oh, my apologies, I didn't even mean to put that. If I had a tagline at the bottom of my name and accidentally sent something out or picture out, oh, my apologies, I didn't mean that. That was for this organization, this religious organization. That wasn't for y'all. And then if they didn't want to hear it, guess what? They didn't get nothing else. But other people, I'm not communicating with you, and I'm not asking to communicate with you, and I'm not connected with you. But the people who have consented to communicate, until you don't give consent, so it's like these people didn't give consent to see that. It's like trying to put it in law. I didn't come to this nation for X, Y, and Z reason. I came here because of these reasons. And now you're trying to be like another nation and try to say that I have to assimilate and what's the word? Adopt or accept or believe or coerce to these things. No, I accept that that's the nation. That's what it's founded on. I could choose to live here. I could choose to understand that and still do my own thing in my own house. So it's saddening. It's not even saddening. It's just like, I just, they're like, you're being the contradictions with you. But no, I'm like, often like, look at the hypocrisy of what you're saying to me. And the literal physical actions y'all keep taking to do that. I'm talking about it, but you're taking physical actions of ill intentions to try to mean harm to someone, to try to do harm to someone, to try to do this or to do that. But I'm sitting here standing explaining like, do you see the hypocrisy? Or do you see, do you see the contradiction? And I'm like, no, do you see how you're taking aggressive, unrighteous, evil actions versus somebody trying to converse about something? You're taking dangerous actions, instigating actions. What's the word, Father? Stirring up strife kind of actions where there was no strife. How long have we been going here and riding through and went to the festival and now you're stirring up strife? Oh, I'm trying to stir up strife in a work environment. Who does that? But with these petty behaviors, but people who are not. Who does that? But people who have insecurities, who have fears, who have worries, who are not walking in righteousness. The lady in the store just said to me, like, which one are you feeding? Oh, and this is a warning. And I was like, Elohim, I'm talking to you because I know people don't want me to say this and release these messages or say these things. But it was you who last night reminded me of why I have to say this word. Why I have to read Proverbs 29. Not just for myself, but why you want me to put that on here. Because if we continue to act like these things don't exist, yes, I can focus on the good and pure and lovely and of a good report, but also whatsoever is true. Is it true that you are doing this? Is it true that that those ways are not righteous? Is it true that you're sitting here pretending to be a servant of the people and to be churches and inclusive, but you are actively taking action of ill intent to physically do wicked schemes? You're not trying to have a conversation with me and reason with me. It's like when Elohim first returned me back to this state. Did we come with having to expose and have to shed light on the darkness at first? No. We came to do the what Elohim had called us to do, and we're still doing it. But other people began to attack and began to do this and began to make it about a game and make it political and do what they're doing now, where they won't speak. But they'll lurk in the shadows and they'll put these flags up. And they won't be like, I'm the one that put that flag there, but I'll send you a message and I'll tell you and I'll send you an email. And I'll do this and I'll do that and I'll tell you, oh, these people are that. And I said, and on the flip side, nobody cares about whether it's DL or not. The emphasis is not on the gay community. Gay people exist. But guess what? So do every other people exists. Men and women exist, children exist, babies exist. Every nation exists. It exists. And there is nature in that, and you don't have to like my words and like my language and like me being in an area, but again, you're not even native here. And then to act like you have authority over when you don't. And you're not a silent majority. That wickedness, that's how Satan operates. Every example of the scripture, Satan did not like to be seen in public. The Pharisees and Sadducees who plotted against Messiah followed him everywhere he went. Y'all have been doing that to me. Follow me everywhere I go. I am in a community and you're like, oh, we're not following you. I've done research and you're like, you're doing research on it's about us. No, it's not. You're looking into organizations about boys and girls, about women, about what is actually supportive and stuff and what's not. Where are you actually helping ethnic people at and where you're not? And you're like, it's about you and my family. Follow me. No, we're not. You followed my family. You look up these records. I didn't look it up for you. But you wanted to make it about how you were doing things. And I said, well, let's see what you're doing in the community. Let's see. You want to make it about housing. Well, let's see if you are providing housing for your people then. Let's see if you are putting for programs. You talked about black men, if you're doing that. And then these other people who keep talking about download people. I was like, why are y'all making it, trying to push the issue about gay? But why are you trying to make it about, oh, this man is gay, this woman is gay? Why are you trying to impress so much that they're gay? Instead of them coming out and saying they're gay from their own mouth, y'all are trying to prove so hard that these men and stuff is gay. We know the white transgender man is gay because he said it from his own mouth. Nobody had to speak on his behalf and say that. But why y'all trying to do all this work to prove this black man is gay? Why are you doing all of these efforts instead of coming out and saying it? Either you're going to be bold and courageous, if that's what you really are about, or you're not. But then these other people, you talk about rumors, you got to discern between what is good, what's evil, what's right, what's true, what's not. It's operating like Satan, where, oh, well, I'll make it look this way. I can make anything. You can, okay, these images of AI and stuff online, does that mean it's all real? It's all there? I have never been to Iceland yet, but I could create a picture that shows I went to Iceland. Is that an illusion? Is that I'm manifesting it, or I'm doing this, or I'm doing that? But I haven't gone to Iceland yet. I could put a picture and create a picture where I'm in Iceland. So you're putting stuff out and doing this and saying this, but is it truth? Have I gone to Iceland yet? No. Would you want to go there someday? Possibly. But for the people acting like, oh my goodness, because I see this, because I show you this, that must mean it's real. Okay, what about go back to the Black Lives Matter movement then. Go back to any other thing. Go back to, I don't even want to bring it up, political things of because of things that just happened. But it can look like one thing from one vantage point, and unless you get the whole matter. And people were like, you need to do your research before you post stuff online. You don't know the whole matter. You don't know who owns stuff and who don't own stuff. I said that person literally said, some of these people who have been retaliating, who have been harassing, who have been stalking, who have been following, who have been doing these ill will, who have told me they're doing ill will, have said, they were the ones that were jealous. They said, oh, you're not going to buy a property before me? No, you won't live here no more. But they said that. So I'm speaking from what they said from their mouth. Not from rumors, but what they said out of their own mouth. So I don't have to post it. I don't have to say that. And I don't have to put light on the shenanigans. I don't. It is a beautiful, lovely, wonderful day, and it will always be a beautiful, lovely day. The day is of Elohim and belongs to Elohim and is of Elohim, and he's good. And should I deny truth when I see? Now, it's not just seeing it with my naked eyes. Oh, your naked eyes, and you're coming up with. When you sit here and you come and you tell me, you come and confess to me that you did something of ill will. Why would I act like that's righteous? I'm going to tell you that's not righteous. I'm going to tell you that's not righteous. I'm going to tell you that is not okay, that is not acceptable, that is not of Elohim. I'm not going to sit there and pretend that, and then these people are like coming for teams, and no, this is why I would not, anyway. These people, it's the scripture verse. It's the Bible verse that says, what the adversary meant for evil, Elohim used for the good. These people deliberately told me they meant these things for ill will, ill intention. They meant to target, they meant to intimidate, they meant to, through a game, through a fort, through a prove that somebody was gay who didn't say out of their own mouth that they're gay. But then these other people who have deliberately spoken and said to me, I'm a witch, or I do divinations, or I work with crystals, or I do sage, or I work with spells, or I smoke marijuana, or you sat there and was there when they did it, like, or I'm for this movement, or I'm for that movement, or you're gay, or you're transgender, or you're this, or you're that. Like, you said that, and you witnessed to that, and there was a physical experience of that, is one thing. These other people, yeah, the rumor mills, they say things, but then when there's actual witness of it, and they said it from it, I'm like, why are you impressing, once again, so hard to me, trying to impress about a certain person being gay? Until they say that from their mouth and live that life and show that and do this and do that, then it doesn't matter. But why are you trying to make that as though that is the main thing, when the main thing is you're talking about being in love and walking in love and your neighbor and kindness, but y'all are disrespecting your co-workers every day. But you're disrespecting, you did that at this building here, and you have a right to do it at that building. But just across the street is the Easterners. Just across the other side of the street is someone from the East. And you know their beliefs and their customs, their heritage, their identity and their ethnicity speaks of something completely different. And I'm not saying that you can't do your own thing in your own space, but I'm just saying you want to constantly, daily come to me about these things, but you're not addressing them of yourself and what you call your community or your so-called family. And then even more so, they say things that's about me. Like the lady in the store was like, examine yourself. And I was like, okay. People will want me to believe that was Elohim in a moment. But Elohim already gave me a scripture last night. Gave me the word last night with regards to the Proverbs to share. So I'm going with Elohim. I'm not going with what the people are saying. But it's like, why would is it true? Really you that's just trying to prove this thing? And in that sense, you should come out and admit about your own self. Don't be afraid. Don't hide your identity. Don't cower. Or who you believe yourself to be. If you believe yourself to be something, then why are you hiding it? Do you still hate yourself? Or do you hate yourself? Do not love yourself? Are you afraid or intimidated or what have you? Because that's how are you going to be a leader running like that? Running away from your accountability. Running away from the accountability to if you are representative to the people you serve. Running away if you a company or business owner or corporation to the people. Running away from when you have a marriage and running away from that. Running away from responsibilities, running away from that. What is the accountability to that? And people are like, look at yourself. Yeah. Look at myself. I have to do what I am accountable to do. When Elohim gave me an assignment, I'm going to do the assignment. People keep trying to get me to stop my assignment. You don't belong here. You're not supposed to be here. You're not going to do that work here. You're not going to We're coming and challenging you. You should be on this, do this thing or do that. No, I should do exactly what Elohim gave me to do, what I came here for. I didn't came here to endure for other things. And when he told me to help other people in certain ways, it had nothing to do with what they thought it should be. Because Elohim does not lie about what his word. He is his word. He is his word. And so they keep talking about, well, like, look who's progressing. Yes, look who's progressing here. Like I said, it's the Eastern nations. In this town specifically. Eastern nations in this town. Eastern ethnicities. Eastern heritage is thriving here. Is the progressive pride people even thriving here with regards to owning, in regards to corporations, in regards to businesses? Are you employees at places? You're employees there and you're trying to take over and trying to discriminate. But does that mean that that's your place in your space? You have little spaces in the community and that's your place in your space. And a Unitarian church exists. You didn't fellowship with a Unitarian church. But do the Latter-day Saints need to assimilate and adopt and convert to your beliefs? No. Does the Amish have to do that? No. Do the Jewish have to do that? It's wild to me that Jewish religions don't have to assimilate to that, but you expect the black church to. You expect Hispanic churches to be all inclusive to certain things when a lot of the culture is rooted in Catholicism. And why? We know why. But people have the right. I'm not saying this takes away from people's right to choose and to consent and to agree to adopt an ideology, a theology, or a custom or a heritage. I'm not saying you can do that. I'm talking about the natural state of things, the natural way and being of things as it was and is from its origin. And the difference between someone coming and trying to be so aggressive towards their agenda politically or theologically wise with regards to, that's your theology and your ideology and your lifestyle. And that's fine. And you can have your place in your space in a whole town. And that's fine. Do I consent to your ideology? No. So do I come to your church? No. Do I consent to your ideology? So do I come to your festival? No. Do you come to my festivals? No, you don't come to none of my festivals. Do you come to my fellowship, my Sabbath service? No, you don't come to the people in that Sabbath that I fellowship with. And I wouldn't expect you to, and I'm not going to enforce you to and make you do that. Do you and I even conversate about that? No, we don't. When I'm on the road and I pass by you or different things like that, we come and go, and that's it. There's no harm. When I came here, it wasn't on no ill stuff, but when people started to act and set up and play a game, and that's the whole thing, where it's just like, is it you that's doing this game? Or is it your political affiliates? Is it your political opponents? Is it the people that are sponsoring you, the people who are paying for your political ticket? Is it your sponsors? Is it your investors? Go ahead and have them run your life and live your life if that's what you want them to do. But are you a sovereign in your own way? Are you a self-governing in your own way? That's up to you too. But I don't have to agree with, acclimate, assimilate, or adopt your way of being, just like you don't have to adopt mine. And just like I didn't come here with and have no issues until people start trying to do these shenanigans. And then I call out the shenanigans and shed light on it, because it's unacceptable. Because it's not righteous, and you should never be doing that to anyone. And it's not done in secret. What's done in the dark will be revealed to the light. That's what scripture says. So I revealed that you were doing these things in the dark, but you tried to put it out in part in public. And the whole town can see it. The whole town can see it. I didn't hide this channel because this channel was not to start about this, but we had to move in this direction because Elohim has given me words at time of like, no, I want you to release the proverb. I want you to shed light on the darkness. I want you to reveal what was been done in the darkness to my people and these people, and how they have treated you, but how they treated people who came before you and other people who are here too. How they treated your relatives and your family. How they treating the natives, and how they treating my land and my people and my way and my word and my truth. So I'm just going to continue to follow Elohim and understand. I have no qualms with you. Live your life. But once you start to do shenanigans, I will expose it, because Elohim has given me to. Elohim has given me to. And if you are who you are, be who you are and stand on that and don't hide. But know that you, in order to be a leader, you got to be bold and strong and courageous. So shalom on that. But this reminds me of like some white people. I don't mean Caucasus, from the Eastern Caucasus and stuff. But some white people have attested at times to how they feel like their culture that they don't have heritage. They have a culture, but they don't have heritage. And they don't have an ethnicity and a custom and the people in the nation, which is why they have adopted other things. But it doesn't have to be that way. Your ethnicity can be like, yeah, you're people. And you don't have to feel left out or feel like you have to assimilate to something else to feel like you have an identity. But you also don't have to run from who you are, or cower or hide, or let somebody else run your life or run your image or anything like that, even for political reasons. If you can't be bold and brave and be you, still in your identity, then what are you doing it for? That's their choice, though. Shalom. So shalom on that. But yes, I'm like, isn't the premise of what some people say with regard to the prides or different things like that, like, that they're supposed to be representing themselves. But how is a person who's afraid to be themselves, afraid to be honest, afraid to be bold, afraid to be brave, afraid to express themselves, when they talked about, that's why people have been saying, oh, you're dealing with people who are on a D-low or down low or closeted, and it's like, nobody genuinely cares about that. You know how many people say, we don't care about what's going on in Delaware. We care about the economic stuff. We care about how it's going to help us make money. We're making more money. You know, you're sharing things that are helping us. You're waking people up. Thank you for helping my family. Thank you for saving my family. Thank you for helping my marriage and helping my relationship and all of these different things. They're there for whatever it is that they need. Thank you for giving me insight. You're the only one walking in love. You're the only one really loving out here, telling people what it really is, helping people really. You can become the next this or this or that. And I'm like, even with regard to the people who want fame, if you want fame, you making a name for yourself or want to make a name for yourself. Again, whether you're in politics or whether it's not politics or something like that, how is that so when you're allowing people to control the narrative of who you are in your life? Oh, I'm going to post these things, and that means that, like I said, the thing about Iceland. Oh, I have a picture in Iceland, so I must be from Iceland or I'm Icelandic or anything like that. And it's like, that's not necessarily the truth. So it's like, am I going to believe something? Or these people, I'm like, why are y'all so adamant trying to get me to believe this about this specific individual or these other individuals? They can come out and say it and speak for themselves. They can speak for themselves. It's different from Elohim saying this rich gay man or something like that, or giving a prophecy. It's completely different than somebody else just saying things and they're like, you're going to believe it? We are all telling you. Well, why don't they come and say it to them, say themselves? Be bold and brave and courageous. But as we had said too with the other things, we see that just as this Messiah takeover, Messiah came from an Eastern nation. There are Eastern nations thriving here as far as business, as far as the new housing development, as far as the families, as far as the strong families and community and the representation of family in this specific town. In this specific town. I'm not talking about nowhere else, specific town. And even with regards to the people that who, when I mentioned about buying land and other people freaked out, you're not going to be here with my family, near my family, or you're not going to get a house before me or buy or this or that before me. But guess who, it's like the individuals who know about the land buying process or different things like that, understanding a certain thing or being from certain backgrounds, that these other people, I had people in the black community tell me, oh, well, there's nothing available enough in here. But then I had people from other backgrounds tell me and show me otherwise, but also did my own, went and looked for myself. Just as an example. And so when I said, like, these people say they want things for their own people, but where are you doing it? Even if you're in politics, you're a legislator, you're doing these things, you're trying to have a position of being a decision maker in that environment. How are you helping to bring that about if you are allowing your people to be put in places where it's not the best development, they're not the best builds, they're not made with the best materials, they're just being pushed off to the side, they're not promoting family unit and the strengths of that, and the same thing about the heritage as you are with other ethnic groups. But you can push all day for this flag and be like, oh, well, we wanted to show solidarity. No, these specific people who did that in this workspace, these other spaces, told me they deliberately, there are people who told me they deliberately. Now, you could be lying. You could be the people who told me they deliberately did this for ill will could be lying. They could be lying on other individuals and saying, I got my friend to do this and do that. I got this person I get to work with to do this and do that. They could be lying, but that's why I said I will ascribe their evils to them, because they said they did the evil work. Ascribe it to you, because you said you did it. And you said you did it for ill intentions. And that's why I said before, is it your opponents? Is it your other people who thinking and pretending and acting like they run the show, acting like they have authority and power, doing these games and moving y'all around like, or making you thinking they're making you do this and making you do that. They think they make me come on here. You can't stop me from getting your intellectual property. I'm going to make you find out what you know, what you're doing. I'm going to see why you're here. I'm going to do this and do that. This won't last, or this and this and this. And you know how many people could tell me to say, it's no point you posting on YouTube. The same people, the same liars. Like we don't still see on the back end. You know, we don't see that. We don't see what Elohim's doing. We don't see how the conversations we have. There are other content creators that still hear the conversations and then discuss the same thing afterwards. They act like we don't. It's that the naked eye is the only way for Elohim to give witness of his truth. It's not. More so than anything, the adversary tries to use the naked eye. Remember when he did for Adam and Yahuah? He was like, look at that fruit. Doesn't it look good? They're like, look, doesn't this look bad? Don't it look like we got power here? Don't it look like we're overthrowing? And I'm like, do you realize that all of these people are Eastern nations? You realize like Eastern culture is not a culture. Eastern heritage is thriving here? Do you think that I'm going to be intimidated and worry about you? Are they? Should I be? No. Do I physically see the people who are doing these manipulative, sadistic, sick, unrighteous, lawful, ill will things? Do I see them thriving? No. Do I see them trying to pretend that they have a power and authority that they don't have? Yes. They're not a majority at all. Do I see the majority being a lot of people from Eastern nations? Yes. Do I see a lot of the businesses from people of Eastern nations? Yes. Do I see a lot of the homeowners and the new developments and stuff from people from Eastern nations? Yes, I do. Do I see a lot of the people who have other beliefs other than churchianity or theologies? Yes. Do I see them continuing to build and do what they need to do? Yes. Am I going to do the same thing? Yes. Do I see and understand and know, witness, that the word is founded in Eastern heritage? Yes. Do I see Messiah taking over? I sure do. I see Messiah taking over. And I hear what Messiah says and see what the Father is doing. And that is more important and above all the other shenanigans. Did I hear other people talking about democracy dead, white supremacy, all of these different things on this week? After things that transpired. Well, let me say we're in a new week. Last week. Yes. I heard that. I saw certain things with my naked eye, but don't I know that Elohim is above a flag? He's above a culture. And I don't just mean that rainbow flag. I meant like the other flag with words on it and black lives or different things like that. And people are like, don't say that. That's going to be a detriment to the black community. Do you know of any nation called black? Do you know of any nation called white? You have a right to live in your ethnic heritage, your ethnic customs, your ethnic identity, your ethnic heritage, and so do I. So all of this thing that we are not out here worried about you, we're going about doing the work day to day. And I'm focused on Elohim and what he has to say. And I'm addressing this because, again, he gave me to address it when I was contemplating and talking about it. And he gave me the scripture verse, which I'm about to read, Proverbs 29, about those things, about the different things. He gave me that. About remembering, like, when you see the evil, and don't be a partaker. Don't be a partaker, with the thief, or don't be a partaker of somebody else's sin, and just different things like that. No, watch the evil swallow up the good, and know that Elohim hates ignorance. But one of the blessings and one of the gifts he gives us is an understanding. So I understand what the adversary meant for evil. And the people who deliberately said evil things. Are we worried and afraid and fearful and walking in that? Elohim said the fear of man is a snare. When people talked about guns, when people talked about you don't know who you dealing with, when the people talked about watch your back, when people talked about all this kind of stuff all last week, people had the most disgusting things to say with the most disgusting intention and mindset. And when we talked about death to the wicked from Elohim, he handles that. And again, I'm not going out here. When I talk about pulling out the sword, yes, I will pull out the sword that Elohim gave me. I don't have to spend my time tracking you down, coming against you, planning against you, scheming against you. When I talk about posting stuff, when I talk about recording stuff, I'm going about the day-to-day. When I'm researching and stuff, going about the day-to-day. When I get instruction from Elohim, I'm going to obey it. So we are free to live in our ethnicity and our heritage, our customs. No, like I said, I believe the word completely in totality. The customs, the heritage, the ethnicity of it. Every bit of it, I do and live by it. But I don't have to, and I'm not going to then pick up some theologies and ideologies and societal ways and things that other people find as norm. That is not normal. That's not the nature of Elohim. And I just don't partake with it. I don't have to be a corroborator or a partaker or accomplice to that. Y'all can do that. That's fine. We can have a Himalayan shop. You could have all kinds of things. But anyway, I just thank you, Father, for how you were taken over. How you turned what the adversary meant for evil for good. How you use things in complete context. When they said, oh, you don't know the whole context of everything. Do you know the whole context of everything? I try to take the time to explain because there's context. There's context to why other people did the things they did. But again, for those people who specifically told me they meant these things for ill will, I'm not going to ignore the fact that you told me you meant it for ill will. So I'll address you specifically. The rest of the people will glean things from it for the benefit of Elohim. And I pray that it benefits Elohim and his kingdom and his righteousness and how he continues to take over, how his prophecies continue to be fulfilled, how he continues to be a barakah to his people and those that love him, how he continues to allow people to walk in his way and honor him without being hindered by societal guidelines and different things like that. So anyway, I just thank you, Yahuah, for your righteousness. I thank you for your favor. People will try to say to me, oh, this proves you weren't walking in love because you said this and you did this and you did that. No. You physically did things in the physical realm, took actions to physically do ill will against me, my family, other people. Did we turn around and do the same things to you? No, we did not. Do we go places on account of you? No, we don't. Do we research things on account of you? No. Have we done it for you? No. Have we walked this walk for you? No, it's for Elohim. Have we labored for you? No, it's for Elohim. Have we served for you? No, it's for Elohim. Have we followed Messiah for you? No, it's for Elohim. It's for Elohim. So I thank you, Father. Love you. Peace and blessings to all. And Elohim, you have your way. Your desires to continue to be fulfilled upon the earth as they are in the Shemaim. I just thank you for, again, like always, for your revelations, for like I said, even when the people have talked about doing witchcraft, and then they try to say, oh, it's not witchcraft, and it's like, you told me, but also Elohim said it, and when we had witnesses of it. But anyway, and I don't mean just like, well, I just thought this or considered this or this person. No, I mean Elohim's witnesses. Anyway, shalom and be well. I will barak you and keep you, be gracious to you, make his face to shine upon you, give you peace. I just thank Elohim for his continued revelations, strength, peace, understanding, kindness, favor, all of it. Abba is good. He is a friend that lays down his life, the friend, the Savior, the Word, the way, the truth, the light, the life. And you are a blessing, Elohim, and I thank you. I thank you. Thank you. We've explained this to certain people because we address certain things because you said to, but also it was to those specific people. And I hope and I pray for, like I said the other day about praying for them, about the fellow female who said, pray for these people who did these ill things, ill actions, like deliberately, I'm going to physically do wicked things to try to come against you. These people who retaliate, or are you coming against this and that, or who operate in fear, or who steal. That's why I don't get, like, the boldness. You want fame, but you will have somebody try to make you to be an actor instead of being who you are. Then what is you trying to go for fame or politics or for if you're not going to be your true self? But also, like, if you don't be your true self, if you're hiding your true self, do you love your true self? If you're hiding your true self, are you loving your true self? So, there are plans, but I will let Elohim do what he's going to do, and we'll leave it at that. Well, thank you, Father. You are wonderful. You are awesome. And I'm just like, the things that anyway. And then it'd be like, well, no. Have you considered those things? You tell us to consider it. Oh, what is the reason you do this? Like, and going back on this and that. No. You go back on your word, you're this and you're... No. We are not. We are not literally going out here and putting stuff up all around in places to initiate and instigate conflict with other people. I'm not going around here initiating conflict with other people. When I was returned here for Elohim, I did not come here to, I'm initiating conflict. When people started to be fearful and do unrighteous things to try to protect their image, protect their political campaigns or their political agendas, were we still even then having anything to do with those people? No. Do we have anything to do with them now? No. Why do those people who were never our affiliates, ones who were never affiliates, ones who we never had a real conversations with or agreements with or anything, still trying to contact on account of their political agendas? Why are these people still trying to instigate conflicts, instigate dramas, instigate harassment? I mean, like, it's not, they're quite literally. And so when people talk about, I saw the language, different language being used in certain ways, but these people continue to talk about, act like it's a game, but nonetheless, that's their choice to act like it's a game, to believe it's a game, to play the game, to abide in the game, to live by the game. That is their choice. You're coming in your own name. You're trying to lift up your own name. You're trying to represent your own name. I want Elohim's name to be lifted. I want Elohim to be represented. I want Elohim to shine. I want Elohim to be known. I want Elohim's heritage, Elohim's customs, Elohim's traditions, Elohim's beliefs, Elohim's righteousness, Elohim's behaviors, Elohim's identity, Elohim's ethnicity to shine forth in the earth. But also, more so than anything, it's a personal, it's actually, we know, true people. At the same time, it is also decision whether or not I want to live according to my ethnicity. It is my decision whether I choose to live according to my ethnicity, uphold it, continue to let it be a legacy, continue to let it be represented in me and in my life. And other people have the same option. And I'm not here to tell other people, get rid of their ethnicity so I feel comfortable. I'm not here to tell people that. And it's not appropriate for other people in a public space, public or workspace, to try to convert people to such a thing. They would give their consent if they want to convert to another theology, ideology, belief. They don't have to remove it. And so it reminds me of the scripture verse that says, don't go with those who change. Don't go with those who change. Don't go in the way with them. That's what that reminds me of. And why would I not go in the way with the people who change? With those who change, because Elohim changes not. He remains the same yesterday, today, and forevermore. My ethnicity is the same yesterday, today, and forevermore. Forever. My heritage, my custom, my identity is the same. Forever. It's the same forever. Elohim is the same forever. He's my Father. He is the same forever. It won't change. And I do not try to change the Shemaim to suit whether or not I can invite friends over. It's my Father's house. And it's His standards. And I'm in agreement with it. And I live it out. Anywho, Elohim, I thank you. Thank you. Thank you for another week in you. Thank you, oh my goodness, for a wonderful Shabbat in your presence. Shabbat in your presence was amazing. I see Operation Iraqi Freedom. But your Shabbat in your presence was amazing. It was amazing. I see your things all over the place. Marines, I see military, I see the vets. Anyway, I see that with my naked eye. But I also thank you for the hot air balloon on the last week. I thank you for all of the monarchs. I thank you for all of the beautiful, wonderful witnesses. I thank you for the rainbow on last week as well. I thank you for just everything you're doing. I thank you for the nature. I thank you for, the caterpillars. I thank you for, oh my goodness, all the sunflowers, all the sunshine, all of the natural beauty, all of the good and lovely and good report. But also, I thank you for the doves. I thank you for the doves, 4 doves, Father. I thank you, and I thank you that you see all things and you know all things. You're above all things, and you are guarding over all things, and you're watching over your work to perform it. And I thank you that you take what the adversary meant for evil and you turn it for good. I thank you that anything meant for ill intent doesn't matter. It falls away because you are the authority above all things. And at times when I say, oh, there's other things that futility, insignificance, vanities don't matter, is because Elohim is life, is the word, is good, according to the scripture. If you believe, and if you're part of that heritage, being as though I love you, Father, agree with you, one with you, walk with you, I thank you for it. For those who are the messages for, Father, I thank you that you've gone forth ahead, behind, and with. And you are always with yours. I thank you for our messengers every day. Every single day. I thank you. I thank you for your messengers every single day. And I thank you that your children don't operate like Hasatan. I thank you that your children are not afraid to come to the light. I thank you. You said the righteous are as bold as a lion. The word says the righteous are as bold as a lion. They are not afraid for their works to be seen. They don't hide. They're not hindered. They're not running. They're not scared. You said perfect love cast out fear, because fear is torment. All right. Perfect love cast out fear, because fear is torment. Your children don't walk in fear, though at times they may walk through the valley of the shadow of death. They fear no evil, because you are with us. Your rod and your staff, they comfort us. I thank you, Elohim, for your righteousness, for your favor, for your goodness. You are so faithful. You are so loving. You are so wonderful. But you discipline those you love. I thank you for your discipline and reproof, as we read in your word as well. Your discipline and your reproof, we read it in your word as well. I thank you. I thank you. I thank you, though, what other people are like, well, what about your commitment to your kinfolk? I thank you, Father, that you already know what's going on with my kin. With my kin. I thank you that even though people get offended when you directly ask them, hey, these people keep saying that you are a down low person. Are you on the down low? They got offended. Would you rather me ask you and ask you to your face and ask you directly, than to have people saying all of these things about you, or to have you hiding and lurking and afraid and intimidated and scared? But you're supposed to want to be able to oversee people, but you're living in a fear, in an intimidation, a fear and an intimidation. When you are a migrant from another state, you came from the West. You came from the West, and I'm not saying that Elohim appoints who he wants to. It said for a wicked people, they get a wicked ruler. But also, Elohim will appoint a person that he wants to bring in his righteousness. He anoints and he appoints. When I talked about people being infidels and not qualified, it is because according to the standard of the word. Not because I'm like, oh, I see you cheating on your wife and you're not qualified. But that says a lot to whether or not just whether a person is trustworthy and capable, but we read in the word yesterday about you do harm to yourself when you partake with a thief. Because if a person would steal in their marriage, steal in adultery, steal in infidelity, steal against Elohim, steal against a covenant of Elohim, how can you, if Elohim can't trust you, why should the people trust you? If your wife can't trust you, why should the people trust you? If your children don't trust you, why should the people trust you? And not only that, because it says a man's enemies will be those of his own household. That's why I said everything in its context, according to what he's talking about in any given a very specific set of circumstances and situations. So I'm not saying Elohim doesn't anoint and appoint people who don't have the college degree, who don't have the background, who aren't. I'm not saying he doesn't appoint migrants or immigrants or Easterners or Westerners. I'm not saying that. I'm saying you are specific people who have said you have done physical actions in ill will, including witchcraft, including spells to try to make people gay, including sabotage, including trying to cause dissensions and discord, including saying you created things to make it seem like, oh, they're just in duress, oh, they have mental problems, oh, this, oh, that, including to say, oh, you don't know who you're messing with, we could take over, including to say you're stealing people's intellectual property, including all of that, including to say, well, how dare you ask me whether or not I'm this or that? Well, because there are all these rumors going on around about you. Would you rather me ask you to your face? If somebody said you murdered that person, should I not inquire rather than being like, oh yeah, you're a murderer? And that, I'm not saying that to be insensitive to current events or anything like that, but you have a lot of people who are like, look, our daily lives don't dictate what's going on with celebrities and politics and politicians and all of that. We could care less what has happened to them, because our daily lives are more important than people who are in the limelight who have nothing to do with my everyday life. So you get these people who are playing games of, well, I'm trying to prove to you don't belong here. You are a migrant. How are you going to prove to me I don't belong in my native land? Well, I'm trying to prove to you about family. Your family is not supporting you in those ways that you say family should. All of the things that you tell me and question me about, but then how you going to bring up family? Well, my friend's this. Same things with your friends, so how are you bringing that to me? Well, my organization, well, same things with your organization, or your Democrats, or your Black Lives, or your Pride Progressives, or your progressive people. How are you bringing that to me? Well, I'm doing things for the black man. Well, where is that? How are you kind of say that to me? So every single day, well, you're throwing things back in my face. I'm not throwing them back in your face. I'm asking you questions, just as well as you do these questions or accusations or challenges to me. I'm not trying to challenge you on it. I'm just directly coming to you about it, or directly addressing it with you about it, rather than do what you're doing and cowering and hiding and lurking in the shadows and act like you're not doing these things to me or other people. You're afraid for your works to be seen. You're afraid to come to the light. You're afraid to reveal what's done in the darkness. But all of that is of scripture and is of Elohim, and it's what he has told me, instructed me to do in given moments. And so even though you feel like people are hurt, people are offended, people this and this and this and this and this, I must heed what the Father says over you. Over you. If you want someone to know something, you could just plainly say it and not play around with, like, it's you that's choosing to lurk in the shadows still. It's you that's choosing to continue to hide. It's you that's choosing to continue to act like you're a person on the down low, which is why these people keep saying you're on the down low. You keep doing those things. It's you that's not giving proper or clear direct communication, and you want to beat around the bush, and you want to have you that's allowing all of these other people to speak on your behalf. You are allowing that. So you haven't made a remark or a statement and certainty. You've done it in the background, in the shadows, but you won't do it out in the front. And so people are like, and so I am in consideration of how I am with Elohim and he is with me, just go to it directly. Like Messiah told me, you don't have to come to me and ask me. You could go to the Father directly. If that person has an ought with you, you don't have to go to somebody else and ask them. If the people saying these things, I don't have to go to ask the people. I can ask you directly. If you want to make this public spectacle, then I can address it publicly. I can address it publicly. If you are lurking in the shadows and won't allow me to address it with you in private, and you're doing it in public, I can address it publicly. You only want to come around, you're not coming around, you only want to send some kind of communication in the shadows when you feel like it, but like you do refuse to address things publicly. But you do these spectacles in public. So I address it publicly because you keep hiding and lurking. Then I'm like, okay, I'm going to address it with where I know I can communicate. I know you're coming on the channel. Otherwise, you wouldn't even put those flags up. I posted the message, and the day after I posted the message, you put your flags up. You didn't put the flags up on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. You put your flags up after I posted a message, and you specifically told me what you were doing, you meant ill will. So should I not ascribe to you your wickedness? Proverbs 29, we're going to read it. Well, Psalm 29 said, ascribe to Yahuah his esteem. I esteem Elohim in this. He has been mighty, and he is the authority above all, and he won't stop being the authority. Elohim will not stop being the authority. But I will, when you tell me you did ill will, when you told me ill witch, I will ascribe that to you. You wanted to be identified as that. Somebody rode past a park yesterday when I was enjoying Shabbat. It was so many families out there. Young white male screaming from his car as families walk to their car and all of this. It's a bunch of different people. He screamed from his car. He's such a big. He's like he's saying that about himself. Do you think that was an appropriate behavior to scream and act that way? Why there's families out to play and enjoying the day with their families and very young children, from babies to older children. And the people at the park and in the parking lot going to their cars and all around just look like, what strange behavior. So we don't go in the way with that strange activity and those strange things. And the people that don't rest because they're lawless or they're doing unrighteousness and don't rest till they do something wicked and evil. We don't support that. We don't support that. If we weren't walking in love and doing in love and trying to win, we wouldn't spend the time for understanding, for communication. Because Elohim doesn't like ignorance. If somebody didn't have no love for you, they will allow you to walk around in ignorance. It will allow you to continue to be like, you know what? I know the word says this. Or hey Susan, I don't mean to be this disrespect to Susan. I like that. I'm using this Susan because it was the name of a turtle that. And hey, Susan, I know you like to bask in the sun every day. But if you told me today, this morning, that Elohim said, only bask in the sun for an hour because he wants to have time with you. As your friend, Susan, am I going to say, Susan, forget about Elohim, don't do this and don't do that, and I'm not going to say that, because if I love you, care about you, and like Elohim said, do this, and his discipline and in his love, I'm going to encourage you to do the righteous thing and do the good thing, which is that. I know it is good if I believe and know that it's good for you to follow Elohim. Okay, he's your father, he's Elohim, he's the creator. Do what Elohim, remember Susan, do what Elohim said. But the other person that would tell you, no, go off, do your own thing, you don't care, you don't have to listen to that, you don't have to buy to him. Give up on his assignment. It's like that vision that somebody, it wasn't Elohim's perspective. It was people who were doing ill wills in the community's perspective, that they were sending this man, one of these men that they keep talking about, on a mission, and this other woman on a mission, and in his office, and it was all of these women there, a lot of white women and some other people and a few other people on the mission, and what they had done to the individuals who they sent on the mission was they put them in a way that was sick. They put them on drugs and made them drugged out and made them sick. They made them sick. And it was 4 individuals out on a mission, and then another one just sat inside with all the other women and just didn't. But then the ones who went out on the streets, they put these people on drugs and stuff. Anyway, if that was revealed to me, or somebody told me that there was their intention to someone, would it not be righteous of me to say, you know what, Elohim, you rebuke that. You know you got put plans for this person. But if you let this be a warning to me, and if you want me to share this with them, I will share this with them, so that they can pray and they can not just be on guard and not be fearful, but they know that, okay, maybe that person's intentions towards me is not righteous. Okay, this person, I should not be with them or spend much time with them or be a friend to them, because their intentions towards me are not righteous. And that could just be the point of the message. And even in the midst of that, when Nehemiah and them were building the wall, did they have to leave the assignment that Elohim gave them? Did they have to leave the instruction of Elohim? No. When the people are on their farms and their farms are being attacked and stuff, are they leaving that on account of somebody else? No. When people are telling me, you don't do this on YouTube, don't post it here, don't do this, do I leave it on account of them, or do I obey Elohim? And whatever he's saying to me, I obey Elohim. Do I leave a community or leave doing the work of Elohim, or what he's instructed me to, or whatever he's given me to build or prepare, or the visions or any of that he desires, that he's given to me, on account of somebody else's disagreement or disapproval? No. I don't. When Elohim tells me Abram is now Abraham, and he's going to be the father of many nations, do I physically see Abraham standing in front of me right now? Do I physically see his family tree in front of me right now? But do I believe Abraham was the father of many nations? Yes. Yes. Can I know it and understand it spiritually? Yes. Can I have the witness of the Kodesh witnesses of Elohim? Yes. Yes, I do. So when some people also tell me they don't think, oh, this person is not going to be who Elohim called them to be. This person is that. This person is out in the world right now, in our society, not right now. They are never going to go fulfill what you're saying, that prophecy of Elohim. That's also what some people keep trying to fight me on. I'm not fighting with you. I'm going to go about my everyday work that Elohim has given me to do. And when he does what he desires, when Elohim, does what he desires, then he just does what he desires. I don't have to be on you like you try to be on me about, oh, is this prophecy going to be fulfilled? No. Elohim is going to do Elohim's work. Elohim's going to be Elohim. He's going to be the authority. He's going to do what only he can do. And I'm going to do what he gave me to do. I do not have to helicopter over you and hover over you to make sure you do what he says. Even when I address things. Am I over you? No. I said yesterday with conversation with people, did I ask any of you to change? Have I not moved out of the way when Elohim told me to move out of the way? Whenever he revealed something to me, when he is like, this is not in accordance with my beliefs. This is not in accordance with the word. I'm asking you to build things for me, and it has to be according to my standard. Have I stayed in those places and spaces where he told me that, all right, nope, move away from here, or this is not according to the word, or you're not building with this particular people or individuals or what have you, that's fine. Or here, you'll be in this space for this specific reason, to volunteer your specific space